And this is in direct relation to the release of the Epstein files, where it's been revealed he was arrested for potentially releasing information to Epstein on foreign affairs. And it's a big deal. He is facing life in prison, which is pretty dang wild. Now, Thomas Massey, you know him, you love him. I don't know, maybe not. He tweeted out an image of all of the different hoaxes and scandals for which no one has been arrested, save Epstein files, which he changed the 0 to a 1. Now, this guy, Andrew, he's not being arrested for trafficking or anything like that. Some are speculating that it's because they can't, because the statute of limitations would be up at this point. No, I think they're getting him because he was leaking state secrets to Epstein, which is actually, honestly, in my opinion, much more interesting. And I don't mean to downplay the severity of what Epstein is accused of, but Prince Andrew leaking state secrets to Epstein, the question is why. The speculation has been for some time that Epstein was working for foreign intelligence, perhaps, as Dan Bongino stated on this show, Middle Eastern intelligence. We wonder which country. Why then would Andrew be giving privied information to Epstein? It makes you wonder. Could it perhaps be blackmail? That's the long-standing theory, that Andrew was being blackmailed by Epstein, or not necessarily Andrew, but that Epstein was blackmailing powerful world leaders for access, information, or otherwise. So we'll talk about that. Very interesting. But my favorite story, actually, is that Trump confirmed aliens are real. And I got community noted, they're trying to community note me on X, because Trump was asked on Air Force One about Obama claiming aliens are real. And Trump immediately goes, that's classified information. He shouldn't have done that. And then Ducey is like, so they are real. And he's like, well, I don't know, but it's classified information. And so everyone's like, well, Obama's saying a thing, aliens existing, and then Trump just blurting out that was classified implies it's true and you're not supposed to know. So we'll talk about that. There are a bunch of other interesting stories, of course, we have throughout the day that we'll get into. Before we get started, my friends, I got a great sponsor for you. It is Rumble Wallets. Guys, you're tired of people banning you, blocking you, shutting you down? They want you to own nothing and be happy. Well, Rumble Wallet is a non-custodial means of holding value, storing value, and transferring it to other people, trading. So if you're watching on Rumble and you want to tip, you can use the Rumble Wallet. Rumble's the only company that has stood the test of time, deserving our support in fighting for free speech and freedom to transact and exist as we want. Banks can cancel your account. They can freeze your card. That's why Rumble has launched the Rumble Wallet. It's a wallet that no one can cancel. Supporters can use to instantly tip creators like us here at Timcast without any middleman taking cuts. You control your money, not a bank, not a government, not a tech company, not even Rumble can touch it. It's yours, only yours to protect your future and your family. You can buy and save digital assets like Bitcoin and Tether Gold in one place. Tether Gold is real gold on the blockchain with ownership of physical gold bars. It's not only a wallet to buy and save, but also allows you to support your favorite creators by easily tipping them with a click of a button. And there will be no fees when you tip my channel or others when we receive that tip instantly, unlike other platforms where you got to wait for payouts or there's a lot taken out. So support the show and check out the Rumble Wallet. Make sure you guys download it by going to wallet.rumble.com. Download it today. Open an account. Step away from the big banks. Use wallet.rumble.com, or you can search for them in the App Store. Shout out, Rumble Wallet. Also, my friends, go to castbrew.com, and we launched something amazing yesterday. It is the Cast Brew Vault Black Cold Brew Concentrate. It is lightly sweetened, only lightly. And we've got the larger glass bottle. We got the small 50 milliliter single servings, and we got a 6-pack. So here's how it works. You buy our cold brew concentrate, crack it open, you pour it in a cup, you mix in 8 to 12 ounces of water to taste, and you got yourself a glass of cold brew. See, the thing is, we were trying to figure out ways to produce cold brew cans and get them out, but it's very, very difficult. For one, shelf life. When you produce these, you've got to move them really, really quick, and shipping weight. We found a way that we can do it as a little guy. We're not a big company. We're a small company. But by doing a cold brew concentrate, we can ship more to you for cheaper. You just add the water and the cream that you want, and you got yourself an instant Cast Brew cold brew cup of coffee. So check it out, castbrew.com, and support the work that we do. Don't forget to also smash that like button. Share the show with everyone you know, really. If you like the work that we do, if you think the show is good, sharing the URL massively helps us out. And if everybody watching shared it, we'd be the biggest show on the world. Joining us tonight to talk about this and so much more, it's Robbie Bernstein.
Hey, pleasure to be here.
Who are you? What do you do?
Oh, I'm Robbie Bernstein. I'm a comedian. I got a podcast, Run Your Mouth, and I also do Dave Smith's show, Part of the Problem. So a little bit in the hybrid comedy and, politics lane.
There was I guess like a mini beef between me and Dave that wasn't really a beef, but other people told me I had a beef. And then Piers Morgan had us both on, and I was like, well, Dave's my friend. And then he was like, I loved him. And Piers Morgan was like, oh, come on, because he wanted us to yell at each other. Yeah, no, but it was a lot of fun. Dave's great.
It was funny after the episode because I asked about that, and I guess they didn't get the Jerry Springer moment they were looking for.
I told them when they asked me, I was like, they know that I like Dave, right? Like, we get along, like, and I was like, all right, whatever. No, it was fun, though. So it should be fun. Glad to have you here. We got Libby hanging out.
Yeah, here I am. I'm hanging out. I'm Libby Emmons. I'm with the Post Millennial, and I have a new podcast. You guys can check it out. It's called The Pod Millennial. You can go to thepodmillennial.com to see all the episodes and find the links to wherever you listen to podcasts. And I just interviewed Tim tonight, so that's awesome.
Were you impressed by how I can talk nonstop for 40 minutes?
You know, I didn't know that about you, Tim. I was totally taken off guard. I was very surprised.
Well, it's because like Libby's like, I've got questions she clearly wants to ask, but I just wouldn't stop talking.
That's correct. Yeah. No, but it was good. It was actually super fascinating.
It's the goal of every interviewer is somebody who will just talk the whole time, so you don't have to do any of the work.
Well, there are people who just don't say anything, and you're like, really? What is this? This is a cocktail party? I have to draw you out? What's going on?
Yeah. We got Brett hanging out.
Yes, guys, what is going on? Normally, I am doing Pop Culture Crisis Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. We actually just had episode 1000 on Tuesday, which was a huge deal. Today, I had special guest Vera Dark on the channel. Colonel Kurtz will be back on tomorrow. Mary will be back on Monday. We have a lot of fun over there. You should go and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already.
Hello, everybody. My name is Phil Labonte. I'm the lead singer of the heavy metal band All That Remains. I'm an anti-communist and counter-revolutionary. What's up, Carter?
And we got Carter over there pressing the wrong button.
I thought you might have had a little commentary afterwards to introduce Phil, but I was wrong. I'm Carter Banks. You might know me from music and Trash House, but I am pressing buttons now as well. And let's get into it, Tim.
Here's a story from the BBC. Andrew released under investigation after arrest on suspicion of misconduct in public office. I love how we call him Prince Andrew, but they don't. That's because he's not a prince anymore. Look at this picture of him.
Oh, he looks terrified.
How do you, imagine being such a scumbag that you get booted from being a prince? Like literally, that's worse than your family disowning you.
By a guy like King Charles, who cheated on Princess Diana, of all people, for a very long time and then married that weirdo.
Yeah, you know, I just got to stress to anybody who's only listening to audio, you are missing out because his picture of Prince Andrew would... Well, it'll probably freak you out, but
we had some good.
There's a little Schadenfreude.
We had some good descriptors before the show of that. Should we mention
of his picture?
Yeah, of what was going on in the picture.
It says he's haunted.
No, we'll save that for the uncensored portion of the show.
It looks like a man who had a psychotic break, like if you accidentally got unplugged from the Matrix and saw the real reality, and then they had to pull you out of your home and instantly get you to the psych ward. That is the face of
Like they put him back in, like he broke through the veil and saw the truth, but then they pulled him back, and he's like,
"Yeah,
I have seen it all."
Like how they get this angle.
I mean,
well, it's like through the front of the cop car.
Wait, okay,
British
guys.
paparazzi are crazy.
We have to explain the news. So they write, and I love saying this, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has been released under investigation following his arrest on suspicion of misconduct in public office. This we understand, but let's jump to the meat and potatoes here. It's the first time he's been arrested. He consistently and strenuously denied any wrongdoing. Indeed. And what is the misconduct? I'm going to have to jump down because they're really laying it on thick. So he's always denied wrongdoing in his association with Epstein. These files get released. And now we've got this former UK Minister Gordon Brown has told the BBC he has submitted a 5-page letter to several UK police forces providing new and additional information from the Epstein files. So let's see, we got Jouffre. This is just a very, very poorly put together article, I must stress, from, here we go. In 2010, Andrew appears to have forwarded government reports from visits to Vietnam, Singapore, and China to Epstein. Files relating to the late financier recently released by the U.S. Department of Justice appear to show. The documents also appear to show Andrew forwarded information on investment opportunities in gold and uranium in Afghanistan to Epstein. Now, this is fascinating. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, you know, there's you got a lot of Trump supporters, and you got a lot of strangely weird, not Trump supporter, moderate people who are like, the Epstein files are a nothing burger. It's all exaggerated. Virginia Giuffre's a liar. And now they're saying Andrew wasn't even arrested related to anything to the girls. It was public misconduct. Here's what I find fascinating. First, he's facing life in prison over this.
It's a big deal.
This is a life in prison penalty. Misconduct in public office, giving this information to Epstein. The question is, why did he do it? Well, there's a picture of former Prince Andrew with Virginia Giuffre, who I believe she was 17 at the time in that photograph.
I don't know.
I could be wrong, but I believe that's the case. And the argument for a long time, the conspiracy is that Epstein would bring on underage girls. The play that Epstein, the conspiracy is this. He says, hey, I got a private jet. You want to fly? I'm going from, California to New York. And you're like, oh, wow, private jet. So you're some politician. You're some corporate boss. You get in the plane and then you're flying. When all of a sudden you see this young lady come out and Epstein says she can take care of you. And then the powerful person says, okay, don't worry, she's 18. Mm-hmm. Then after she takes care of him, Epstein goes, she's 16 and I own you. And if you don't do as I say, I'm going to release the videos of the photos. Now, I don't know if that's true, but that's one of the theories. So when you have this picture of Prince Andrew with a 17-year-old girl, these young women reportedly were hired on as masseuses, but they were just underage prostitutes. And then Prince Andrew, it's revealed, is arrested for leaking privied information to Epstein. It does lightly corroborate this claim. It doesn't mean it's proving it, but it does lend itself to this theory that Epstein was getting access and information from powerful global elites after they had, Now it's possible Andrew's just a slime ball and was leaking information to Epstein, his buddy, because he was giving him underage hookers. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But either way, Andrew is a scumbag, and now he is in deep, deep trouble.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I said, you've got a really bad situation when you get, booted from being the prince. And that was before the Epstein file stuff came out.
Didn't his mom pull his title?
Yeah, I think actually I do think it was the Queen before she passed away. But and that was before all of the evidence of him giving state secrets to Epstein,
Mm-hmm.
So, I would like to see Americans that have engaged in some of the nefarious activity be, investigated or see something come of that. Because as much as everyone wants to see people that have violated kids, face punishment and face the music, but like Andrew's not an American, and there's a lot of Americans that have influence here that are alleged to have done some
well, it really does.
Stuff.
The whole Epstein thing really does seem to be taking a toll on the UK. It took out one of Starmer's top aides, who I think he'd appointed as ambassador to Washington. Mm-hmm. It's taken out like some other people in the Labour Party, and I gotta say, I find that kind of funny. Because here you've had, Jamie Raskin and all of the rest of them howling for months to release these files, despite, the efforts to release the files. And then it turns out that it's actually just taking down Democrat allies in the UK.
Well, speaking to what Tim was saying about blackmail, this is the second case of someone in the UK getting in trouble for sharing financial secrets. I think it was the Starmer case that you were talking about, who let Epstein know that there was a big bailout going on before it happened.
Yeah, I think that's right.
But I love it because, if other countries are taking this seriously, it plays into the reality of something actually happened here. And I think that puts more pressure on the United States government to actually investigate it and start bringing some allegations and some lawsuits against people.
Depends on how black-pilled you are, because if the first person you see that gets arrested from this, by the way, it's not one, it's two technically if you count Ghislaine Maxwell. I suppose that counts as arrest number one. Yeah. But in general, if the first person you see, when the whole of the scandal seems to, at least at its face, took place in America or started in America, and the first arrests are happening overseas, it's like just how deep is the rot and the corruption in the U.S. government that it finds its way to the U.K. before any of it find its way here. And I do think one of the problems with all of this going on right now is people are getting black-pilled because you're following the story every day. It feels like it's kind of it's like retold to you, and you see the horrors or you hear about the horrors of what is going on, and every day goes by, you don't see anything happen, and it's really easy to lose faith in anything when that continues to be your reality each and every day.
I don't think that they're arresting Prince Andrew, former Prince Andrew, over nothing, right? And what that means is what we're hearing is probably just the tip of the iceberg. Because typically people in this position of power, even a disgraced individual, they protect them. There are tons of people who have been disgraced, but for some reason you never get accountability. And now they're going after him because I fear or I should say, I believe there is something much, much worse underneath all of this. And this is just what they're telling us to avoid the worst of possible reactions.
Yeah.
What do you think the worst stuff is?
I think he was diddling kids. I think that based on what we know about the Epstein thing.
Epstein was, or this Andrew?
Well, so here's the challenge with the Epstein stuff. There's a lot of people arguing that what Epstein was doing was with teenage girls, not children.
Right.
There are videos and creepy things of underage kids, prepubescent kids in the Epstein files. So I do believe there is evidence to corroborate that Epstein, in fact, was a diddler. But there are a lot of people who argue that's not the case. I think seeing some of these videos are censored, by the way, but they're appearing on X. Yeah, I think Epstein was probably doing a lot worse than what they're just claiming. For Andrew, I'd throw this under. Andrew knew that he was with underage girls. He was going to the island, engaging in it quite a bit, and they know he was doing it. When he gave that interview on the BBC, and they're like, Virginia Giuffre says that you were dancing together and you were quite sweaty, and he goes, oh, well, that's not quite strange because I don't sweat, or at least I didn't. And it's like,
weird.
What? It's like, I have a peculiar medical condition where I don't sweat. No, I think they're looking at the files coming out now, and they're saying, if more comes out, it's going to destroy the royal family. Arrest him now. Because the Virginia Giuffre stuff was bad enough. Now we find out he was leaking information to Epstein. They're probably saying this can't go any further. If more information comes out or is found, because people haven't even gone through all of the files yet.
Yeah, it's
If we don't do anything, they're cooked. So I think the attitude of the royal family and just the UK in general is arrest him now. When the worst stuff comes out, we can say, see, we arrested him. We're on top of it.
Sometimes they'll like get you on something smaller so they can build their case around something bigger when they know they have it, but they need time.
like getting Al Capone on tax evasion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they couldn't get him on anything else.
Yeah.
That's why I actually see this as a giant white pill, because I feel like we're educating the general American public to the actual corruption of our government. And typically speaking, when it comes to these corruption storylines, they aren't that sticky. They go away. But I feel like the public's demanding that this is looked into and people are held accountable. And so the fact that the elites have to pretend like they actually represent us, and now the UK is folding and actually arresting Andrew, I think that's the wheel's starting to turn. And I actually think that this is in my opinion, a very promising storyline because it's not going away.
Yeah, it's definitely not going away. And honestly, I think that's largely because of all of the people like online that are really just kind of hammering it away. There are constantly people talking about this. This doesn't, whether it be on podcasts or just, in chat rooms talking on X and stuff, like this is something that actually ignoring it isn't going to make it go away. It's something that has to be addressed by the administration.
Yeah, unless you're such a Donald Trump fan that you feel like innocent CEOs are going down over a Democratic hoax.
I mean, fair enough, but like that's a fair criticism. But the thing is, like, I don't think that's. I think that the people that are Donald Trump fans that are just like are trying to brush it off. I think for the most part, their argument is just, well, Donald Trump isn't actually accused of these things in the Epstein files. He's all over the Epstein files. Yes, he was, he was friends with Epstein at some point or to one point, but like, it's not like there's, really legitimate, credible accusations in there that are like, oh, Donald Trump did this recently or what have you,
Well, and a lot of it was news articles that had his name in it.
Well, it's not just that. It's there were. I don't know why they're releasing these. There's files, FBI cold tips from 5 years after Epstein's dead. What is the purpose of submitting a tip with no corroboration in 2025 about Donald Trump? They're wild and outrageous, and I really do recommend read them. Read these claims against Donald Trump because they are the epitome of the absurd. When Brett Kavanaugh was going through confirmation, these stories started emerging from these accusers that Brett Kavanaugh was involved in parties in college where the men would line up outside of a bedroom where a woman would be held captive during the party, and these men would take turns forcing that woman while she was trapped in that room. Okay, I'm being very light with the language in case there's children. Sure. And it was the most shockingly insane thing. Because if you have 100 people in a frat house and there's a woman trapped screaming as guys take turns lined up outside, everybody would know that was happening.
Yeah, that's
Look at the lacrosse scandal, the Duke lacrosse scandal. Like, come on.
That ended up not being real anyway,
Right. The claims against Donald Trump in these files are beyond that level. I don't want to. It's really graphic accusations. I am not saying that 100% of them are definitively false, but they are so over the top absurd. One of them is that Donald Trump walked around a room full of little girls with a measuring tape, and I'll save the description of what was going on for the uncensored portion of the show because this is really graphic stuff. But this is just the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Donald Trump was not walking around with a measuring tape and little girls, and it's just not happening. I mean, this is an accusation from like 2025. So we are in the height of anti-Trumpism, and a tip gets called in during right after Trump gets elected, and some of these are 2024 during an election cycle, and it's just like, okay, we get it. You're putting up billboards. You're trying to claim that Trump is involved with Epstein. That being said, there are claims about Trump going back a long time. And I've got no problem if it sounds reasonable to pursue. In that capacity, I'll shout out Dan Bongino and Kash Patel when they say some of these things are ridiculous and uncorroborated. It's not just about Trump. I've made this point ad nauseum. Tony Hawk was not on the island, did not get married on the island. And this is another FBI tip that came in on the phone accusing Tony Hawk of getting married on Epstein Island. It's just absolutely insane and not real. So when you hear that stuff, I'm sorry. We have 10 years now of Orange Man bad. It makes it very difficult for me to believe these wild, ridiculous accusations.
I think the accusations against Trump, trying to implicate his involvement or anything with kids is completely unsubstantiated, is not a valid criticism. I think criticizing this administration for taking part in covering this up, not wanting to investigate it, and not digging in more and being, not that the other administrations did a terrible job with this too, but he's the most recent administration, and I don't think they just fumbled on it. I think they took a look in there and realized, hey, we don't want any part of cracking this door open, and I think it's fair to criticize the administration, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's fair. Look, anytime you're in government, you're opening yourself up to criticism, right? I mean, everyone has some kind of beef with the government to some degree. So if you're in a position in the government, you're opening yourself up to criticism, and it's perfectly fair. And as for the administration's handling, it's probably, it's incredibly obvious that this was the biggest blunder that the Trump administration has done. Like the handling, whether it be the binders when they came out, all of that stuff, and a lot of it falls on Pam Bondi, I think personally. But Donald Trump definitely has his fair share because of the way that he treated it when he says things like it's a Democrat hoax. I understand what he meant, as in it was Democrats saying that Donald Trump is in the files and had done inappropriate things in the files. That's what Trump was talking, or that's what I think Trump was talking about when he said the hoax. Like it's another Democrat hoax, just like the good people on both sides. They implied that he had said something that
they do so many of them.
Yeah,
they do. But so I think that's what he meant.
One.
Sure. He's not doing it was horribly mismanaged.
Yeah,
on all
absolutely.
accounts.
That's the overall point I was making.
Let's give a quick shout out to Thomas Massey real quick. Because he's not technically correct, but he's technically correct, the best kind of correct. He posted this image, number of arrests, Russia collusion hoax 0, Jan 6 0, Mar-a-Lago raid 0, Biden auto pen 0, 2020 election 0, Epstein pedophile arrests 1, COVID 0, Benghazi 0, Doge funding 0, Ukraine impeachment hoax 0, and he says, you're welcome. So it is a fact. Ro Khanna and Thomas Massey's efforts largely are responsible for the arrest of former Prince Andrew. So there you go. But let's jump to this next story because this is where it gets real spicy. We've got this from Mediaite. Les Wexner gets wild legal advice during House Epstein deposition. I will effing kill you. Now hold on. It does seem like it may be a joke, but it also seems like it may be a jokey way to literally threaten someone. So I don't want to say I know for sure. But we do have the video here, and I'm going to play it for you. This is Les Wexner giving a deposition, and his lawyer's right here laughing, and you can hear what he whispers. So we got to be real quiet, and hopefully you can hear this.
It was just regularly done. Answer the question. Okay.
He said, I will effing kill you if you answer another question with more than 5 words, okay? Now, it does seem like it could just be a joke. For those who are not familiar, Les Wexner is a potential co-conspirator in the Epstein case, and his name was redacted in a document of potential co-conspirators. The FBI argues they don't have evidence to actually take him down. He's giving this deposition, and he says, I will effing kill you if you answer another question with more than 5 words. And again, it may be jokey. There are a lot of people on X that are trying to make it seem like they're threatening to kill him for talking. There's one where they're like, Wexner's lawyer just threatened to kill him if he answers questions. And it's just like, oh, these people are just lying, okay? We can be reasonable about this. It's a creepy thing to say to somebody. It might just be a joke, but considering what's going on in the background, it is possible it was more like I'm not really joking.
That strikes me as a pure lawyer moment.
Yeah.
That's sitting down with your lawyer, you're talking to the cops, and they walk in and go, shut up, quit talking.
Yes, correct.
With that said, I know that Les Wexner lied in these depositions, and I know this, and I'll say it. It's because he said he did not understand why Donald Trump was at the Victoria's Secret modeling events because he's not in the fashion industry. And you're telling me you can't understand why a man wants to go to a Victoria's Secret show? That was a hot ticket, all right?
He was also running beauty pageants.
Yeah, so he's literally in, but I'm just saying the idea of, I have no idea why this man would be here. You know the brand you run. You know exactly what this is. You've got hot chicks up in lingerie. You're starving them to try and convince other women to not eat and be thin as well. And we all appreciated that in the 90s.
Victoria's Secret guy. Yeah.
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 But the idea that you're running a Victoria's Secret fashion show and you're trying to pretend you don't know Donald Trump and you don't know why he was at the event you met him at because there's no reason for him to be there, it's called he's a dude.
Right. A rich dude.
Yeah.
A rich dude who likes models.
The point of people saying on X with like complete certainty that this is why he did that is because that's the benefit to gather more clicks for your content, right? If you say, well, it could be this, but the context might say something else, like we're saying right now, it could be a lawyer move. He could just be saying this because you've been answering the questions too fully. I keep telling you not to. But if you make it seem like you're actually threatening his life if you talk at all, that's more salacious. So you make the more salacious statement because more people will click on it. It's why I think ad revenue is one of the worst thing to happen to X because it disincentivizes giving nuanced takes on anything, at least for the initial post. You might get into it more once people start debating it, underneath the actual post. But if you want to get the eyes on it, the best thing you can do is to be as dubious as possible.
Yeah, you're rewarded for making stuff up.
I hate it.
If that
and the other thing too that drives me nuts, just super quick, is the thing where people post videos and they're like, "This is shocking," and then you look closer and it's like literally from 6 years ago.
Yep.
That drives me insane.
I feel like if this lawyer handed Wexner one of like those Bush funeral letters, I would go, okay, he was threatened.
He slides a picture of Epstein across the table.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah. I mean, like, look, this is the exactly how I would want my lawyer to talk. I mean, there's not a whole.
I disagree.
To you, I would want my lawyer to be very clear and concise, and if he felt like swearing, I'm fine with that.
My lawyer wouldn't have to say a thing because I would keep my mouth shut no matter what.
Fair enough.
He shouldn't be speaking. I know he tried to whisper, but it was miserably done. He could have just taken a little note, written down shorter answers, talk less, and then just held it and showed it to him and folded it.
He knows he can't write, I will effing kill you, because
What Wexner needs are those attorneys from the Tyler Robinson case.
Yeah.
Who make sure that there can't be a camera or a mic or anything even within like 5 feet, 20 feet, 100 feet of their
Then you have people reading their
client.
lips. So
Well, but that's why they moved the cameras. They don't do that now.
What did you guys make of the fact that there were no Republicans there for the deposition? There were Republican staffers. Comer sat it out saying he had a dental appointment.
Isn't it fascinating that the left has become QAnon?
Yes.
Liberals on X, mainstream normie lib types are posting things like a cabal of satanic pedophiles are running our government. And it's just like, welcome to the club.
Welcome to 20.
Right. Like we've known this for a while now, guys.
Yeah, this is
Finally, you're catching up.
2016 and far earlier.
It'd be funny if the whole QAnon thing was fake and it was just a, the right was like, we need to really smear the Democrats to win. The Democrats are like, well, if you do that, then we're going to do it too. And they've just created a world in which everyone is adamant that Democrats and Republicans are just in the business of protecting pedos.
Well, Democrats and Republicans who are leaders, once you get into government, I feel like you get completely corrupted by power. Who doesn't get corrupted by power? That's a huge reason to have term limits, because people get corrupted and then they don't have the best interests of the people at heart, and you have to get them out and get somebody in who actually has some hope and optimism for the country.
I feel like, go ahead.
I would love it if the next election cycle is people running with slogans, end satanic rituals in D.C. I'd be like, all right, we've made some progress as a country.
I feel like I'm still of the mind that the idea of term limits is a double-edged sword, right? Like, if you've got someone that is in there for a short amount of time, then you end up with the bureaucrats that are installed even more power,
right,
and doing more running of the government.
I get that. They're the ones who keep everything sort of stable.
Yeah.
And then they get corrupted as well.
Yeah.
So, maybe there should be term limits on lots of things.
Maybe we should just get rid of more of the bureaucracy.
Maybe there should be way less government.
Yeah.
Less regulation, less government.
I also don't know if I buy that the left have become conspiracy theorists. This only stands on its feet for them because of Trump. Like, they just don't like Trump. The second, if Trump's name wasn't mentioned, they wouldn't be talking about satanic pedos.
Technically, but we saw this when Trump was kind of out of the limelight for a bit in like 23. When Ron DeSantis had become the front runner in all the prediction markets, they immediately started writing articles saying DeSantis is worse than Trump. If you thought Trump was bad, oh no, DeSantis is coming. And I got to be honest, like, DeSantis he's pretty good in Florida, but he was pretty much vanilla yogurt everywhere else. And they were acting like he was neo-Mecha Hitler.
Yeah, they say that about Vance too. They're like, Vance is worse. He's a worse Nazi than Trump. They say that kind of stuff.
Look,
too.
As of the beginning of next year, they're going to be talking about whoever's running, for president, because that's when they're going to start.
Yep.
People start announcing, and they're going to just start sliming them all as worse than Donald Trump. And they'll ease up on Trump for the last 2 years. Obviously the House will still be doing the impeachment stuff, but the rhetoric surrounding Trump.
You think the midterms are already lost?
I'm behaving as if they are.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I'm of the mind.
It's a districting thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm of the mind that if the economy is doing gangbusters, the Republicans can win.
Well, once he gets this Iran war started,
I don't know.
That's going to turn the tide.
But hold on. Let me finish my point.
We don't know for sure because wartime does improve historically a president's approval rating.
If the Republicans, if the economy is doing gangbusters, the Republicans can win. If the economy is not doing gangbusters, the Republicans cannot win. And just because I'm saying the Republicans can, I'm not saying the Republicans will. I'm not predicting that they will. It still is going to be dependent on the actual people running.
What do you think would happen if Iran? I'm not trying to, a lot of people are going to be like, stop, don't say it, Tim, you're going to war, you're for war. No. But genuine question, like, what would you think would happen if Iran staged a large-scale terror attack on the United States?
Oh, that's a much different story.
Right.
Yeah, if Iran, I don't think they are going to, nor do they have the capability. But if they did, yeah, I think that would probably get people excited for more military action against Iran, and that would probably help Republicans.
Let's say an attack happened that was clearly and definitively Iran on, say, like Times Square or something, and thousands of people.
Yeah, that would probably help Trump.
But so if that happened, I think everyone could agree this country would be overwhelmingly in favor of war with Iran. You'd get 60-70% being like yes. The question is that enough for Trump to rally for a midterm victory for Republicans?
What, if there was a terror attack on our country?
If there was a terror attack where most people agreed or felt that we should go to war, would that give Trump the power to then rally and say, vote Republican, and then they would vote congressional,
I think that would, I think you'd get pretty close, but I do think you're right about the districting situation because New York State eliminated Nicole Malliotakis's district, essentially.
Totally, yeah.
The only reason it might not is if they blamed Trump for it and said you kicked the beehive when you bombed him.
Right.
But,
that's a good point.
Don't you think we're sick of that, though? Don't you think we're sick of being blamed for when people hurt us? And we're like, oh, no, you hurt me. I must be a bad person. Mommy, please don't beat me again.
Look at the reaction to the Venezuela raid, right? Like, that is almost ubiquitously on, a positive thing to most Americans. They're like, okay, we didn't actually lose any Americans. We showed how strong we are, blah, blah, blah. Most Americans are like, that was actually cool. Like, Whether I understand that libertarians don't have that same perspective, so I get where the criticism would come from. But libertarians are like 3% of the population or something like that. Nobody wants to be free. They want to control other people. So if Iran turned into some kind of military action, if there is some kind of strikes, or even if there's a ground war, like if it's not something that turns into a quagmire where Americans are coming home in slew of caskets and stuff, if the United States goes in and essentially loses almost no one, the American people are going to be like, actually, that's kind of cool. And whether or not, again, the chat's probably going to chew me up for this, but I really do think that like most of your normies will be like, actually, that's kind of cool, because I think most Americans like winning.
I think where Iran might differ from Venezuela is, for one, there's a lot more risk factors on the table, such as how China might react, whether or not there's going to be disruptions in oil trade, whether or not you're going to see Turkey or other people get more aggressive with Israel. But also there's a lot of discontent in this country right now for how aggressively this administration is supporting Israel. And I don't know that when Venezuela had more of a pitch for America first, even though it was all lunacy, I think a lot of people will see a strike against Iran as being for and in Israel's benefit and not in America's benefit. And I don't know that even a quick strike, depending on how successful it is, but assuming the best case scenario, I think some people might still say, I don't like that we took this risk and that we did it for another country.
I think that that's something that young people might think, but young people don't vote in the midterms.
Yeah, and I think young people are typically anti-Israel to a certain degree. We've seen this in the Pew Research. Yeah. Based on the swings from young people and a little bit from the middle-aged generations, it is around like 54% in opposition to Israel. But that is a weaker voting bloc than all of the old people, and they largely support Israel. I do think in 10 or so years, with boomers dying, you're going to see support for Israel basically evaporate. Not because it's going away, but because it's already gone among younger generations. When the older generation that supports Israel dies, you have largely just the right wing, we don't care about your country and we don't want to support you, and the left wing, we hate Israel. So the right is going to be much more moderate, like, whoa, we don't hate Israel, we just don't want to be involved. And the left is going to be like, well, we absolutely hate them. Hey, we'll compromise, cut them off.
There is sort of a thing, though. You were talking about potentially disrupting oil in Iran. And I'm not in favor of going into Iran because I'm not really in favor of any foreign conflicts of any kind. But the thing with Venezuela, where Trump was basically like, okay, your oil is ours now, might mitigate any fallout from an oil disruption from Iran. And also, to your point, Phil, the Pentagon at this point, like I was on this Pentagon trip yesterday. We went to Missouri and visited Boeing. And it's like the second time I've traveled with Pentagon, and they are so intent on buying all of these kinds of autonomous weapons and things like that. They're really into it. So we're sort of at a point where our guys can stay home and play video games with, autonomous weapons and take people out and take out entire nations without anybody batting an eye. It's kind of crazy.
We have breaking news. Let's jump to this story. It's a post from Donald Trump. He says, based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomena, and unidentified flying objects, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America. Of course, this comes shortly after Donald Trump has confirmed the existence of aliens. I say that, I'm half kidding, but listen.
I would love to have China and Russia. They've been invited. Yeah.
Something that got a lot
You need both. You need all persuasions. No discrimination.
Something that got a lot of attention this week. Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
So aliens are real.
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it. Do you believe it, Peter?
Well, the president can declassify anything that he wants to, so if you want to make an announcement.
I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
We know illegal aliens are real.
Illegal. Only illegals. What else?
Okay, so hold on. Trump is asked about Obama saying aliens are real, and Trump's response is he gave away classified information, he accidentally confirms the existence of aliens. Now, apparently what people are saying is that the actual story that Trump is referring to is that Obama made references to Area 51 that he's not supposed to mention. That was actually giving away the classified information. Or it could be, some have spun it as, by confirming or denying the presence of aliens at Area 51, he's not supposed to do that. Some people believe that the myth of aliens at Area 51 was a U.S. psyop to terrify our enemies, particularly the Soviets during the Cold War, to make them fear that we may have advanced technology they don't know about. And it may just be that there are aliens, and Obama admitted it, and Trump is saying he shouldn't have done that, and that's why Obama walked it back.
That's the only reason I don't believe it now is because he's confirming it with the tweet, right? The second he made the mistake and made it seem like an accident, I was like, okay, maybe this is actually real. But the government like quasi admits aliens are real like every couple of years when they need to, change the news cycle.
I honestly think the probability that they announce the existence of aliens and we actually see aliens is going up a lot. And I'm still not saying it's a great probability at all. I'm saying it's like, more than people would actually imagine, not impossible. But the general idea is, over the past decade or so, they've been giving out more and more information, having more discussions about it. It's becoming boring. When Obama said aliens are real, literally nobody cared.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, of course they're real. It's not Area 51. And everyone's like, oh, would you look at that? It's interesting.
Nobody
The point is, the fear was decades ago, if the government came out and said aliens exist, everybody loses their mind and they freak out. And the conspiracy theory for a long time was the government would have to trickle out a little information to desensitize the public. That way, when they do announce, in fact, we have made contact with non-human intelligence, people would go, they finally said it. It's boring.
The news cycle's like instant now. People would be over it in like 10 seconds.
Exactly.
Like, unless they trot out like an actual alien body,
10 seconds.
going to care.
No,
Yeah,
no.
And even then they won't care.
Bro, literal gray aliens could walk on the White House lawn, and 10 seconds later, people would be like, did you hear Trump? He called Rosie O'Donnell fat again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wonder about that. Like, if aliens actually showed up, you don't think we'd unify? Like,
Oh, hell no.
you don't think we'd be like,
The left would be like, are they
Earth
communists?
has to come together and be like the Federation of Planets.
No way. If aliens showed up first, there's questions about whether or not they have the same degree of technology. Do they have faster than light travel or a facsimile of faster than light? Is there actually a federation? All of these things. It may just be like we traveled 100 years on a colony ship and came here, and now we're going to kill and eat you. Who knows?
If aliens actually showed up, I would be the first to die because I would go, this is COVID nonsense. You're trying to trick me back into my home. This is a government illusion in the sky, and I'd be the first to get vaporized.
The only way this could end up being worse for Trump is if they actually came here because they needed a place to live and we had to deny them entry because they're actual illegal aliens. And we're like, we don't have any room. We're deporting everybody else.
I would be in favor of that. I'd be like, sorry, fellas, you got to go home.
Look, Mexico's over there.
That's
over there.
Section 9.
You don't have to, yeah.
I don't think
that's the movie, right?
I did not
District
see
9.
that one. But
District 9.
that was a great movie.
District 9.
Great movie.
That was a
Yeah.
good movie.
It was really good. I thought that it kind of got off the rails when Weakest turned into an alien. I don't know what that was about or why that was relevant to a story about the refugee aliens, but
To
I
show
enjoyed
him what it was like to
Right.
be on the other side.
Yeah, but for the most part, he's half. He's like a weird, like, I'm turning into a bug, and they're like, so we're gonna kill you, I guess.
So we're gonna send
Well,
them
if
to
somebody's
Canada,
turning into
we're
a
gonna send
bug,
them to Mexico.
you'd want
And
to
why
do
did
the
the
favor
why
and
did the
kill them.
fuel from the battery turn him into a bug?
Yeah, well, why do you put on the sunglasses so that you see the aliens in that other movie?
They live.
different movie.
That's a totally different movie, and that
But
one makes a
all-
lot of sense.
Sure, but all of our sci-fi content is kind of loosely related. Not all of it. There's sort of different genres of sci-fi content, but a lot of it builds on similar concepts.
Makes even less sense in the X-Files that the government constantly tries to stop him, but he works for the government.
Yeah, right.
His explanation is like, I have friends in Congress. I'm like, I don't know if anybody in Congress is like powerful enough to stop them from shutting you up.
Wishful thinking.
Now, listen, I would love it if they exposed aliens, Bigfoot, Ray Epps. Give us all the conspiracies. I would love it if they actually had transparency on this stuff. I don't think Obama actually said anything. He was asked on the podcast, do you believe aliens are real? He basically said, yes, but not because of anything I've seen from the government. And then he clarified later on, what I mean is because of the mathematical probabilities.
No, he's walking it back because Trump said that's classified and you're going to go to jail.
Well, he
Robbie,
walked
you're
it.
no fun.
He walked it back prior to Trump saying that, for one, and for two, Trump says crazy shit.
Well, it's because he got the call.
Trump says crazy stuff all the time. He's not that careful with his words. This is classic funny Donald Trump gotcha. I don't think he accidentally said, "Oh, that's classified." I think he's kind of having fun and prodding at Obama, but that's my read.
No. It's obvious that the aliens have returned and they want control of Israel because that's the original site where they started creating the hybrid humanoids to mine gold for them.
I thought they liked the ice wall in Antarctica, and because there's tunnels there.
The Greys can be Antarctica.
No, you don't understand.
The Greens can be in
You don't
Israel.
understand.
Okay, I needed to show up today for this education.
Robbie, I'm going to have to educate you. Okay?
Please.
You see, the Anunnaki need gold for their weak atmosphere because they're in an elliptical orbit around the sun. So every 2,500 years, when the planet returns to proximity to Earth and the sun, they come to Earth to mine the gold they need to survive. So what they did, they hybridized themselves to create a slave race. The only problem is the first race they created was too smart, understood the nature of reality, and defied their order. So then they said, we need to make a stupider race. So they hybridized with monkeys and created humans. And this was obviously, of course, in, where Israel is now. And they said, we're going to have you mine gold. And then the first group of hybrids that were created went to the humans and were like, nah, you don't got to listen to them. You don't got to be slaves, and told them the truth. And this created all this chaos. And so then, the Nibiru is the name of the planet. It leaves and it heads off for another 2,000 years. There's about a 500-year period where it's close enough in proximity that they can travel to and from the Earth. Well, this is when they were on their way out, and now they've been gone for 2,000 years, but now they're back, and they want that land back, and they want gold for their atmosphere, and they've got the next 500 years to seize control of the Earth, and that's really what's happening.
Now, can I ask one question from the story?
No. Yes, go ahead.
When they had sex with the monkeys, did they return to their planet with AIDS?
They didn't. They took their DNA and they fused it with some monkeys and, get this, some viruses. Ooh. Indeed. That's why humans have some DNA in their systems that are not found anywhere else. They believe that it was from the genetic engineering process.
So are we all in a capitalist structure because we're just serving these alien creatures and producing gold for them?
The theory, the conspiracy theorists believe that intelligent life generally understands the nature of existence, because it seems odd that you would be intelligent but not know why you're here, and that humans are actually not a fully intelligent race. They're a hybrid, semi-intelligent race that are smart enough to be programmed to do any job. You take a human child and you can make it a specialist, but not smart enough to fully comprehend the nature of reality. And that is the conspiracy theory about why we like gold.
So we got to opt out from making money and become socialists. That's what I've learned here today.
What creatures would be able to comprehend the nature of reality?
The conspiracy theorists believe that all of them.
All of them except us.
Yes. Like we were specially engineered to not understand God.
Well, but that's just sort of like what I love about all these simulation theories is it's like, so God created.
Well, it's not a
everything.
simulation theory.
Right, but
the
other ones are.
This is a wackaloon. Somebody tried to create a sci-fi movie explaining a whole bunch of random things
and
just
do it.
jammed. Well, they did. It's just if you make up a bunch of crazy nonsense, you can make anything sound. You know what I mean? Like,
if you look at the Old Testament, it's sort of it discusses essentially how human beings cannot achieve God knowledge and cannot fully understand God. I mean, that's
right. And
that's
so
part of our cultural
So the people who make up
history.
this theory about the Nibiru and the Anunnaki read the Bible and then said, what can I make up to extrapolate from that statement?
That makes it sort
Aliens,
of truthy-ish.
Right, exactly. So they say, well, the reason why the Bible said it is because it was the word from the aliens who created us telling us we couldn't. That's the point of the conspiracy theory.
Is it
Every
possible?
time I hear the Anunnaki thing, I think of the Abenaki, which was one of the Algonquin tribes.
Oh, probably where they got the name from.
Probably where
Because they just
got
made it
from.
all up.
Yeah, really good stories.
How long ago was that? Did they make that up?
The Algonquin?
Yeah.
The
No. Tim's.
Oh, well, actually, you might not know this, but Native Americans, not real.
Not real.
Made up by leftists to make white people feel guilty.
It didn't work. I don't
They're
feel bad at all.
When you see a Native American, Asian.
Is it possible that Epstein was our envoy to the aliens, and that's why they don't want to let out the files?
One of the things that I love is how
And the aliens wanted to rape young women.
Well, they took him back. They took Epstein back. That's why we can't find him.
one of the things I love is how how the left spent decades telling us that, you're not actually of German, Italian, Irish, Polish heritage, you're just white. And now AOC is going, whiteness is just a myth. You're actually just all these other things, and there is no such thing as white culture. And it's like, you just spent the last, 75 years explaining to us why everything is every Euro descended person is homogenized and just plain white and white culture, and that white culture is bad. And now you're telling us it doesn't even exist.
She's the worst.
Yeah, I watched her Munich stuff so much. I watched all of it.
Why?
Because I found it fascinating. I like the Munich stuff. I thought Rubio was good.
She's making me want to run for office.
I liked Vance. Yeah, the last year.
AOC's so bad at just general politics. It's making me want to just.
She didn't know where Venezuela was.
I know.
She said it was a below the equator, and it's like, did you go to school? I mean, she went to school in Westchester. Those are like top-rated school districts.
Well, she's real dumb.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
She just got pretty genes, but no smart genes.
One of the things about me is I can't stand watching someone do something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I see somebody trying to put a doorknob on and it's taking a long time and they're doing it poorly, I'll be like, just get out of the way, let me do it. I'll be done in a minute. So when I see her up there,
that's better than beating them with the doorknob.
No, can we get it done? Why are you taking so long? It frustrates me.
Yes.
So when I watch AOC do anything, I'm just getting frustrated, being like, let me do it. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, but
what you're saying is incoherent.
She's going to run for Chuck Schumer's seat. She's going to be in the Senate, and then she's going to run for president. Or one or the other, or both.
I stand by this. I've been wrong on a lot of things. Too stupid to run for president.
I don't think you have to be smart to run for president.
I don't think she can put together an actual run.
You don't have to. She doesn't have to. All she needs is somebody else to do it.
She's worse than Kamala Harris.
No.
She's not. She's better than Kamala Harris.
And
come on,
she's got less experience, but she's not worse.
And she doesn't have that stupid laugh.
Here's what I will say. The answer she gave at the Munich Security Conference does really knock her down a peg or two.
Which one, the Taiwan one?
Both Taiwan and the rules-based order stuff.
Yes.
You need to be able to sound smart, not be smart. So Trump is sort of good at this. And I say sort of because sometimes it does sound like what is he even talking about? But it's the weave. He can dodge difficult questions and he can simplify things to the point where he gets away with it. AOC can't. Okay, you can't have a stuttering, rambling nonsense. The rules-based order thing was so much worse than the Taiwan thing. Mm-hmm. She was just basically saying a bunch of words strung together, not even making any sense. You need to say. I've had people say to me, they say, Tim, you're really. I watch your videos, like you're a really smart guy, and I'm like, no, I sound like I'm really smart. There's a difference. I'm probably knowledgeable in a lot of things, but understanding that what works in media is sounding intelligent, not being intelligent, and then you'll understand basically how politicians actually win and whether policies tend not to work.
And why all of the news outlets are a disaster.
Indeed.
That's why it's time to elect Fetterman.
So AOC needs to be able to weave, and she cannot. Mm-hmm. That's a problem for someone trying to run for a higher office.
So do you think Kamala could weave?
Absolutely not.
She can't.
I think AOC is better than Kamala.
Yeah.
But that Taiwan answer, she could have literally, I got to be honest, if AOC's response was, that's a very difficult question, and I'm not sure I have a really good answer for you. Mm-hmm. Everyone would have, no one would have cared. Well, they would have been like, okay.
That's the kind of answer J.D. Vance is comfortable giving.
Yeah.
Because he's confident.
Yeah, instead she was like, I need to make it sound like I'm smart by saying random things.
That I don't even know what words mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Trump has a superpower, and he's one of one, and no one can duplicate it, which is he says nothing. He's a sales guy, and so he just goes, we'll get it done, and he refuses to give you a reason. He refuses to give an explanation.
Well, that's what Kamala Harris did. She said nothing every time she spoke.
No, but Kamala Harris tried to pretend like there was a reason there, and then it came out as gobbledygook.
Yeah, but it was nothing. That's the point.
No,
Trump can sell nothing.
Trump doesn't actually say anything. It's, hey, I'm going to end the Ukraine war in one day. Doesn't tell you how he's going to do it. Won't validate how he's going to do it.
I disagree. I completely disagree.
Okay.
When asked about ending the Ukraine war, he says, he goes, we're going to end it on day one. And that's bloviating. That's arrogant. He didn't get it done. But that's okay. He's a salesman, right? Do you want to buy a product from the guy who says, I'm not sure it'll work, or the guy who says, I guarantee it'll work? No. So when Trump is asked, how do you get it done? He says, listen. He says, these guys don't want to be fighting. Putin and Zelensky don't want to be fighting. We're going to go in there and we're going to stop the fighting. And that's a very, very, very simple answer. He's giving you 1%. Basically, I'm going to tell them to stop fighting. That's the answer that he's giving you. There is the smallest of substance there. Kamala Harris, her answers are like, fighting is like when you're up against someone and they're trying to make you do something and you're not letting them. And you're fighting and you're just like, oh, she's not even telling us what she's going to do. She's not giving us the lightest of morsels of, I will tell Putin to stop. So Trump at least gives you that little bit. And I think the strategy with Trump, as with many presidents, is to target the lowest common denominator, because that's how elections work in this country. You try and sound smart, congratulations, 7% of people are going to vote for you. You try and sound as simple as possible. Listen, Putin and Zelensky, they don't want to fight, so I'm going to tell them stop. And then, unfortunately, for this country, the lowest common denominator is going to be like, well, I think it's good that Trump's going to tell them to stop fighting.
And the
that's all that
Kamala
matters.
version of that is like, in Ukraine is a country in Europe.
And Russia is a bigger
Is
country.
a country. Yeah, exactly.
Well, Trump did at Venezuela too. We run the country now. He didn't explain what that meant. I actually find that where Rubio and Vance get themselves in trouble is they try and fill in some of the details, and there aren't details.
I get so frustrated with that AOC thing, because she could have just said yes. Should the U.S. That is the policy of the United States. So who am I to say otherwise? Next question.
The policy's it's to be ambiguous, isn't it?
Well, instead,
Largely, but we have troops there.
instead, she decided to take a Biden pause.
Let's jump to the story from the Post Millennial. Illinois Democrat Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton releases F Trump Senate campaign video vowing to abolish ICE. Okay.
Fuck Trump. Vote Juliana.
Fuck Trump. Vote Juliana.
Fuck Trump. Vote Juliana.
They said it, not me. I'm Juliana Stratton, and I'm proud to have lived my whole life on the south side of Chicago. I'm not scared of a wannabe dictator. I'm running for Senate to stand up to Donald Trump. I'll abolish ICE and hold Trump accountable for the crimes he's committed. Just like they said, fuck
Trump.
Fuck Trump.
Fuck Trump.
Vote Juliana.
That's why I approve this message.
And
Fuck
so
Trump.
let me just stress this. J.B. Pritzker, in this video, the degradation of politics, we are so far gone. And I'm going to say this to all these Democrats. Trump didn't start it. Trump was a symptom of it, okay? And where we are now, y'all are just rolling around in it like pigs in, well, since we're already swearing, pigs in shit. Mm-hmm. So this breaks my heart. We have much bigger news than anything we've talked about today. Much bigger news. Much bigger news. We talked about Epstein, Prince Andrew, former, arrested. Trump saying aliens are real. There's a bigger story here. Chicago Bears are leaving Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
And this is quite possibly the worst thing that ever could happen anywhere in all of human history. And it is because of these pieces of trash Democrats who have lived on the south side of Chicago our whole lives. So now we have two options for the Chicago Bears. They can go to Arlington Heights, which is, okay, fun, still Illinois, but it's a northwest suburb, or Indiana. Okay, we can talk about that in a bit. I just had to bring it up because I'm not even a big football guy. And I see this woman being like, I have lived here, F ICE, I'll abolish, them, and Trump is bad. And I'm like, you are why everything is falling apart in our state, and people like me and my friends fled because y'all burned it to the ground with 100 years of Democrat supermajority rule and your crackpot gerrymandered garbage districts, and now the city is turning to garbage. And it's miserable. They won't fix it. I see this lady. You know what she may as well have just said? I put on my They Live glasses, and she goes, buzzwords. Buzzwords that you've heard, so you think I'm cool. And like you, vote for me. Here's another Democrat. He agrees. That's all I heard.
It's pretty comical. The fact that she's like,
in the worst ways.
I'm gonna stand up to Trump. It's like, you're supposed to be, you're campaigning for the upper house, right? That's the Senate is supposed to be the one where people kind of aren't really clowns. Like they move slowly, they've got longer terms. It's fine when you hear people in the House doing ridiculous things. There's 435 of them. They do stuff to get attention because there's 435 of them. The upper house is supposed to be the one that or where the people that have a little more poise, a little more dignity and stuff. And this is her campaign. This is
Do you
it's
remember
a clown show.
A couple of years ago, there was a story that came out that was basically saying that there was evidence to suggest that people who curse more are smarter. And did you notice a lot of stupid Democrats start cursing way more all of a sudden as soon as that study came out?
I didn't notice that it was correlated with that.
It'd be fun if she competes with Jasmine Crockett for who can be the sassiest in Congress.
And, yeah, you know.
It's a fun direction that we're headed in, a complete freak show. But yeah, I mean, this really does speak to the degradation of politics. Of there's no campaign promise, there's nothing. It's just F that other guy. It's pretty absurd that anyone would rally behind that.
And a lot of times the swearing has to do with when they feel threatened. So I talk a lot about on our show about like there's something about the average celebrity when ICE comes up, they have to say F ICE and they say it with their whole chest and they say the same thing about AI. They say F AI because they're so scared of what it's going to do to their industry that all they can muster is to say a swear word alongside it because they don't have an actual coherent argument against it. And any coherent argument is going to fall in the face because it's not going to work. The technology is already evolving. In this case, ICE is already doing what it's doing. They're not able to stop it, and so the only thing that they can muster is to swear.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sad.
Yeah.
It's you know, I mean, I assume that there is a portion of the electorate that is going to appeal to, you know, the Democrats that really hate Trump, of course, and stuff. But like, you know, she's not just running in Chicago; she's running to represent Illinois.
Yeah,
and that's a very like that ad is very, very narrow. It's targeted at a very narrow group of people.
You know. I love the Chicago weather and the architecture and the parks and all these things. Growing up there, you know, like I'm talking to my wife about where do we really want to settle down? Like where we truly want to live? We're in West Virginia now and we do love it because it's not too dissimilar weather-wise. But of course, when we think about it, we grew up in Chicago. We love the summers where you can go swimming and, you know, go out and do outdoor activities. We love the winter where you can play in the snow and there's snow activities. Not great skiing or anything like that. The problem is everything in this spattering from Wisconsin to Minneapolis to Chicago is deeply corrupt, evil human waste running the machine. And Brett from our cousins over there in Minnesota knows exactly what I'm talking about, how corrupt and garbage everything is. And it pisses me off because I'd love to live there.
I don't want to move back.
Right.
Me and my wife have talked about moving back to Michigan where she's from, which is still just like we were there. Remember over the winter we had to go to a funeral. It was like -9. And I'm like, no, I'm good.
What? I love it.
No. Like
sign me up.
I can get back into it if I'm there for a period of time, but I like when here it gets down to like 20. You're getting into the 20s. I'm fine with that.
I'm down for Alaska, man. We went to when we went to Anchorage. Amazing. What a beautiful place.
Everything's so much more difficult in the wintertime. Doing anything outdoors is way more difficult. It's just
really
skating is actually better in the winter.
It gets so humid and hot. It's like,
but isn't there substantially
so
less
hot, you have to
crime the
shovel
colder
it.
it gets?
Well, that's why
people
people
don't wanna
were
go
saying
out.
that the ice riots were ironic. The ice riots were going to be less substantial because it was winter and they weren't all out in the summer.
Yeah. Well, you know, you can still turn up the political temperature even when it's cold outside.
I got to say, Chicago is one of my favorite cities to visit. I love it. Great American city. I don't follow football. The fact that the Bears are leaving Chicago makes me sad.
Yeah.
That's like such an American thing. The Bears are in
The
Chicago.
Bears.
The Bears. Like,
Yep. Well, it's people like this lady who have thrown a noose around the neck of our cultures and our tradition and are just strangling it to death.
And
you know what they should do? They should start a new town called the Bears and let all the super fans
Bears?
move. Yes.
Bears.
Yeah. And just let them all move there and start a new city that's awesome.
Let's try this one out. You've got the Chicago Bears, but let's just hear it. The Hammond Bears.
It doesn't work.
Sounds like teddy bears. It sounds like a German stuffed animal company.
No, it sounds like the gummy bears. It sounds like the Haribo gummy bear.
Hey, can I copyright or trademark Hammond Bears right now before it happens?
You should definitely get
own the phrase.
.com.
They have to change it to the Indiana Bears.
Have they? Yeah. So they are leaving Chicago. The Bears are leaving Chicago. Who's getting blamed for this? Like, are they blaming the politicians? Because you know what they're going to do. They're going to say that the billionaires aren't paying enough in taxes to keep the football team in Chicago.
They should absolutely go to Gary. It's
Gary,
right
yeah.
there. The Gary Bears.
Come at your own risk.
Is Gary just like another disaster? Like
Yes.
Chicago is a disaster.
Well, I'm just gonna
pay you to go to the game.
Right.
I just want to point this out. HammondBears.com was parked by GoDaddy, and so is Indiana Bears.
Oh, interesting.
So I wonder if that's an indication of something. And guess what? Arlington Heights Bears? Nope.
No,
It's for sale. Anybody listening to the show right now, you can go and buy ArlingtonHeightsBears.com. Something tells me that will not be the name they use.
And then make it the fruitiest website of all time. Make it an exclusive place to meet other people of your specific orientation.
or just sell a bunch of gummy bears.
Yeah.
Their colors have to
Now,
be
is this just a negotiation tactic to try and get the city to buy them a new stadium type deal?
No,
or-
the issue is not buying the stadium. It's that the property taxes are too high. So it's going to cost them around $250 million bucks a year in property taxes, and they want the city to give them an exemption. And the city is a bunch of communists who won't do it. So Indiana passed a bill saying, like, "No, you're good. We'll take you."
I think that
I think they should leave. I think they should absolutely leave.
I think everybody should leave where they're being overcharged. You know, I mean, all of the people in New York did this thing with Mamdani where he's trying to extort Albany into paying a whole bunch more money to the city for his promised social programs. And what he's saying, which, you know, everybody already heard already, but like what he's saying is if you don't do it, I'm going to raise property taxes almost 10%. And the thing is, if you look at the way the property taxes are calculated in New York City, there's 4 tiers. There's private homes like 1, 2, 3 family homes. Then there's apartment buildings. Then there's utilities, and then there's commercial, right, like hotels and office buildings. Private homeowners are already paying over 19% in property taxes, 19% of the assessed value of their home and property. So he's talking about raising property taxes on New York City homeowners by another 10%. That brings them to like almost 30%. Of their property taxes. People are going to have to sell their homes and able to afford the property taxes. And basically his goal to eliminate private property in the city will be much faster on the way anyway, because their idea, his whole administration's idea, is to create not just a city full of renters, but a nation full of renters. And they want them paying their rent to the government. Yeah. And if you look at it, Mamdani's had this whole thing where he was like, oh, we're going to let tenants come in and complain about their housing and complain about their landlords, but they're not allowed to complain publicly. You know who's not going to be able to complain publicly in those hearings? Residents of the New York City Housing Authority. That's public housing. That's projects. So if you live in the projects and you don't like your housing, you can't go to this like rental thing and start complaining about how the city is a crap landlord. And the city is the biggest landlord. The city is the biggest landlord in the city. And their housing stinks. And all the time during the campaign, he was like, oh, we'll change light bulbs in the city housing, you know, because the light bulbs are out. And he didn't even mention the elevators, which like are open shafts half the time. He didn't even mention that. And then he's like, but, you know, for you private property owners, we're going to raise your taxes and drive you right out. And I think all those private homeowners should get the hell out of that city.
How many people that voted for Mamdani do you think are now regretting their vote? And that's like, this is like 3 months in.
I think a lot of them because, you know, he's talking, and if you look at what he wants to spend his money on, meanwhile, Albany just gave him another $1.5 billion like 5 days ago. If you look at what he wants to spend the money on, it's entirely social programs. Mm-hmm. It's entirely social programs.
I think.
And it's like, that's great and stuff, but you have to, you know, quality of life is what matters in the city.
I think all of them, because the way our political system works is who can lie to the best during the campaigning process. And none of them can pull through on what they're saying. The thing that I'm shocked people are upset about is that I guess part of his campaign promises was that New York City could keep their homeless. And I can't believe that that's the pitch that they're mad at him about. I mean, that he promised not to clear them out of the parks, and now because they're freezing to death, he realized he has to, and they're upset at him of, you broke your promise to us of letting these people stay in the parks.
Yeah, because, you know, it's better to let them die.
He went around in his New York City monogram bomber jacket, handing out blankets to these homeless people who then died. They died.
I'm sorry that's funny. It's just socialism right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. The monogram, they were red and they were like compliments of Mamdani or something.
Right. But the government couldn't figure out they needed a sleeping bag.
They weren't very good.
They weren't electric blankets.
No.
They were just your regular.
Well, yeah, if you're homeless, where are you going to plug it in?
Where are you going to plug it in? What are you kidding? New York City, like open up one of the lamp posts and just plug stuff in there. You can plug stuff in all over the place.
Really?
There's plugs.
I didn't know that.
You know how they have those kiosks? I don't know if they still do. Like with the
Too many
internet.
homeless guys were
where you can
masturbating.
charge your
It's
phone
true.
and stuff.
Yeah. There were like these digital kiosks they set up where you could just use the internet whenever you wanted, and then homeless guys were using it to, you know what I'm saying? They were gooning.
Well, if human beings create a thing, it's going to be used for porn.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
You know, I got to be honest. If they set up a digital internet kiosk for free use of looking things up, anything you wanted, literally anything, and it was at a ski resort, you would not have a gooning problem.
Not
at a ski resort.
Not
but
at a
ski
resort.
resort,
Now,
you
why
can
is that?
leave thousands of dollars of equipment just hanging
Why?
around outside. Well, because skiers don't steal.
Why?
Because they don't, Tim.
Because they have money.
Let's jump to this story from the Post Millennial. Student struck by car, injured during Florida anti-ice walkout. The student was taken to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Stay in schools, kids.
Did you guys see the video where the mom tries to stop her son from protesting? He walked out of school and she's like, "You get in this car right now." He's like, "No, mom." And she's like, "You can't do it." He's like, "I can do it. I'm allowed. You can't stop me." And then he ignores her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, Mom, you need the chancla.
You need the what?
Chancla.
What's
a
the chancla?
chancla?
You guys don't know nothing about this?
I don't know the chancla.
It's when the Latina mom takes her flip-flop and starts whacking the son with it. And then the son's like, "Mom, stop.
Oh, that wouldn't have been what happened at my house.
The belt?
No.
What you do is you get a leather belt.
Broom? Would
And
have been a broom. You guys think
I cannot imagine. I could not imagine. That is crazy to me. When I grew up, if any of the kids in the neighborhood said no, Mom, she would be like, "What?" And she'd be
your mom's awesome though.
I'm just saying, all the kids in my neighborhood, no one would dare say no, Mom. Like, that's just not happening. I don't know about you guys. To see this, I'm just like, ugh, we're cooked, man. More importantly, the bigger picture is your schools are letting your children run amok. And there was another viral video where the dad walks in. You guys saw this one where he walks into the school and he's like, "Why are you having my kids go to protests?"
He was like, "Get them out of here."
He said a kid got hit by a car. What are you doing?
A kid got hit by a car in Florida today during an anti. That's the story. We ran that.
Talking about.
Forgot. I even assigned this one. I was.
It's been a minute. It's been 1 minute.
Oh, sorry.
But the dad was like, "Give me my kid. I'm taking him out of your school because you're allowing this." Guys, you got to homeschool your kids. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying everyone can just make and do it. But if you're in a burning building and I say, "You got to go outside, you got to get out of the building," you can't be like, "But it's cold outside." I know it's difficult. I know it's tough. I know some people have it easier than others, but you got to get your kids away from this psychotic behavior.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think this is absolutely insane that this is what's going on. And the thing is, schools have a responsibility. Once you send your kid on that bus or whatever, drop them off to school, they have a responsibility to keep your kids safe and
no
keep
permission
them in the
slips
schools. And I was wondering that too. Like when I was in high school, juniors and seniors could get permission to go off campus during certain times of the day to go get lunch. Yeah. But your parents had to sign it. And one of my friends, he forged his mom's signature and then he went off campus with another one of my friends. And the one of them got his arm broken by like a gang of thugs because it was in Germantown, Philadelphia. And they said to my one friend, they were like, "Don't touch him. He's a brother," because he was black. So they didn't beat him up. They just beat up the white kid. And then when they came back inside, the whole thing was for my friend whose name why can't I think of like a fake name? Let's call him Tom. Anyway, so Tom comes back in and everyone's like, "Keep quiet. Don't say that Tom was off campus because he's not allowed to go off campus because his mom will freak out." And so it became this whole thing where the whole story wasn't about the arm broken. It was about trying to cover for Tom so he didn't get, whooped by one of these sandals or something.
I guess in the modern day, this is a good high school because how else are these kids going to be ready to go protest in college?
Yeah, right.
You got to get them ready for the college experience,
early,
which is doing stupid things. So,
which is setting up camp, not going to class, and harassing Jews.
Yeah,
that's the college experience.
You got to get them started
That's what
early
you gotta do.
on dumb things.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, this is just like I said earlier, it's another advertisement for like stay in school, and I mean inside the building.
Did you see the principal who was like, "Okay, you guys are all out here. We're not doing this. You can go back inside right now, or you can get suspended. Your choice. What are you going to do?"
Did they suspend them all, or was he just like?
It was a 20-second clip on Twitter. I have no idea what happened after that.
Yeah, well,
Very brief. It auto-scrolled to the next thing. It's probably AI, and it's rotting my brain. That's why I forgot that we were talking about this story 5 seconds after we started talking about it.
They should definitely follow through. They should suspend them all. The teachers that organize this stuff should be suspended, actually, because you know that it's like the kids are going to be like, I get to go outside and screw off with my friends and holler and make a big stink about something. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Heck yeah. Like for the most part, kids don't have like real strong convictions about this kind of stuff, but if they do, they get them from their teachers. They get them from their guidance counselors, you know, or possibly from the parents. But, you know, like teachers organizing this stuff, because you know all the schools of education are completely inundated with leftists. So it's like this is
all the graduate schools and stuff.
Well, I mean, the schools that teach teachers. Yeah. It's like they're all leftists, and they're teaching the teachers to be leftists.
The cops have to wear body cams. The teachers should have to wear body cams too.
Absolutely.
That, yeah.
Teachers are wearing body cams. That's
growing up, unless I showed up to school and my teacher wanted to tell me about the situation that was going on in Minnesota, that's not something that would have came up at my dinner table. No. It's not something my parents were telling me about. Maybe
really?
It's different
Minnesota?
nowadays. No, I'm saying what?
Like your parents didn't talk politics at home?
Not really. Particularly not if like they were kind of horrifying stories, you know, like that's not coming up. Hey, someone died today because they were out protesting.
Really?
That wouldn't have been a conversation at the table.
My parents sat there arguing about politics half the night at dinner.
My dad would complain about the government because he constantly was dealing with like regulations and stuff.
My dad was complaining about the government as well.
He had a business, and he's like, the government, blah 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 blah. You know, it's like. Because he was a business owner and all kinds of regulations.
My parents didn't really talk about all that much, but I had the internet since I was a little kid, so I was online all the time.
My son comes home from school and he says, Mom, has there been any big news today?
That's
and you say, child, no, go do something fun.
And I say, well, we could run through some of the headlines.
You should say.
And then he says, I'm going to go talk to my friends now.
No, you got to use this. You got to say something like, yes, it's terrifying. There was an attack, and the only way to protect ourselves is you need to do 10 reps of these weights here, and then we're going to run a couple laps around the house.
Actually, what actually happens is I tell him what the big news stories of the day were. And I just tell him, they shot this kid, this lady's dead, we might be going to a war with Iran. And then he says, okay, I'm going to go talk to my friends now. I love the laugh track. That's great.
Perfect.
That's so 80s. It's retro.
It's so 80s. You know what's going to be funny when
AI movies. There should be AI movies with laugh tracks.
I just got to tell everybody, you know, podcasts came about because people were passionate and interested in subjects. But now that it's becoming ubiquitous, you are going to get laugh track podcasts. I would not be surprised. You're going to get On My Balls, the podcast, where it's going to be the most like idiotic nonsense. But, you know, have you guys ever watched Big Bang Theory without the laugh track?
The NPR morning news show?
Yeah, but
I want to hear an NPR morning news show with a laugh track.
No. Big Bang Theory without the laugh track. You've heard it, right?
No.
It's like Sheldon walked in and goes, "Oh, what are you doing?" And then I'm just sitting there being like, why, what's the laughing for? Like, nothing was done. And so they made these edits where they remove the laugh track, and it's really just psychotic people, where it's like, he'll walk up and be like, "A hot dog."
It's bad.
Yes, I'm eating a hot dog. And you're like, what the is going on?
I like the ones where they add the scary music into it too, because it works just as well.
Dun dun dun.
Oh yeah, we had Callan sent me sad trombone to add to our
Yeah,
mix.
you used it yesterday for me.
And I think it's innate that we're destined.
No, it was actually after Phil's statement about going on tour.
Yeah,
got it.
I just added like an audience applause button on our show too. Just
Audience
today.
applause.
Yeah, like you start the show. It's like the show started and just like I intro the show with like clapter as if there's like a bunch of people watching us live from in studio, but it's just me.
I like the word clapter. That's
clapter.
good.
Yeah, it's what like late night comedians get.
Yeah,
it's
no,
not
it's
laughter,
good
it's not clapping, it's clapter.
I can only stress this again because I do it every single day. But guys, content is over. We talked about this on Libby's Pod Millennial podcast.
This is a sneak preview, you guys.
Sneak preview. There are programs that can auto-generate anything. So if you want to make a YouTube channel, you'll need some capital to get started because the scale does get expensive. But you're not competing with anybody. We're not competing. It's as simple as this. If I want to make a 2-hour podcast, it's going to take me 2 hours. It's going to take me other people, production, whatever it might be. If I want to do a 2-hour podcast entirely on my own, which I do for my morning show, it takes me at least 2 hours. Now, here's the thing. I got to do research. I got to find articles. So it actually takes me like 5 hours to make a 2-hour podcast. There are programs already online you can sign up for to varying degrees of expense, some relatively cheap. And you type in, you click a button and it'll show you all the top YouTube videos for the day. You will then say, copy. It'll then prompt you to, what title do you want? It'll say, here's titles based on this video. You then copy the title. It'll then auto-generate a script, auto-generate the voiceover, auto-generate all the visuals, auto-animate them, and then create a backing track, and it renders it all for you. And then all you have to do is click upload, and you can produce a 2-hour podcast in literally, with 15 minutes of labor, rendering time maybe an hour. So you do the 15 minutes of work, you get up, you leave, you go play video games, you come back, it's done, you upload it, boom. And I would argue that a good portion of YouTube right now is all AI. And the only reason you, dear viewer, don't know is because you are in YouTube's algorithmic bubble. That is, as a long-standing YouTube viewer, you are seeing things you're used to seeing. But newer viewers are being fed all AI slop because it's being mass-produced. The other thing to point out is Gen Z doesn't actually make content anymore. They're algorithm farming. So an example of this is they don't actually need to say anything in a TikTok video. Mm-hmm. So the example that I gave on the Pod Millennial was, you'll see a young woman, you'll swipe, and she'll go, "You will never believe what just happened to me at Wendy's. I can't even believe it happened." So right away, she's shocked you without saying much, so you're waiting. She's got a big piece of lint right here on the top of her head. And what happens is the people sit there and they see it. She then starts saying, "You're never going to believe this. The story is totally mundane and pointless." So now you've got at least 10 seconds. For YouTube, it's 30. But the lint results in them commenting. Everyone's spam blasting. She gets 50,000 comments. Now the TikTok algorithm or Instagram or YouTube says, "Wow, this must be a good video." That's the content Gen Z is making right now. They're spam blasting AI slop because they don't got to do any work and it requires no talent. And it's making them money. Or they're doing algorithm farming where they make fake videos with engagement tricks to trick you into liking. There's the really obvious stuff where it's like, I'm going to do this thing, click the like button, and then you'll see. And then stupid people go, "Oh," and they click the like button. Or they say, "Double tap the screen right now, and you'll see the reveal." And that makes you like the video. So they're engagement baiting. But the algorithm farming is hilarious. They'll misspell a word on purpose. The comment trick, the comment baiting is really, really interesting. Doing something like wear a button-up shirt, but have one button unbuttoned. And then what happens is people watch the full video because the video is rolling, but they comment and they're typing, "You need to learn how to button your shirt. What's wrong with you?" And then you get 10x comments and the algorithm promotes you and makes you famous.
That's like, that happens every time. Sometimes we'll have like a misspelled word. Like the worst today was like when it's not even like a bad one where like clearly you just hit the wrong button. It was like journalist, but the N wasn't there. And it's like, that's my nightmare that somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, you freaking idiot. Why don't you know how to spell these words?" Gen
Z has started misspelling words intentionally.
Yeah.
And so
but they didn't know how to spell them in the first place because they were not educated.
Well, sure. But the reality is they're intentionally misspelling words to bait people because they know that other people will see the misspelled word and then comment. And it doesn't matter what the comment is. YouTube just says they're getting a lot of comments and a lot of likes. Yeah.
And also, there's no human intervention at any point.
There's another trick that you've all seen. And that's where a video will start and it'll be like, "This is the craziest roller coaster ever done, like ever built." And then they'll say, "It was built in 1981 and it goes up 100. And then at the end of the video, and it'll say something like, "And then the drop is 85 miles an hour. And that's why."
And it starts over.
Yep.
They do that because if they can trick you to watch even 2 seconds again, then the algorithm is going to boost the video. Mm-hmm. So I instantly block anyone that does that. Any video that loops, I instantly block the account. But it doesn't matter. So blocking does degrade them algorithmically. Mm-hmm. But this is basically what Gen Z content is going to be. AI generated random nonsense. There's going to be a bunch of history and news videos that are wrong because there's no fact checking.
Yeah, nobody looks at what's actually real because they just trust AI to get it right, and AI gets things wrong.
No, they don't care.
Not even
they don't care if it's right.
So they don't trust anything. Like we looked up. So when Usha Vance announced that she was pregnant, we were like, "Oh, I wonder how many second ladies have been pregnant while their husbands were in office, and we looked it up. And AI, like Google AI, told us that she was the very first one, and that was a lie.
Yep.
It was actually the vice president of Ulysses S. Grant's wife.
It's not about whether it's right or wrong. These guys are literally going on. There's a whole bunch of AI websites that create these studios and these toolkits. So there's the simple ones that we've discussed, like there's the ones everyone know, Claude, there's Gemini, but there's derivative ones that use APIs to create one-stop shops to produce everything rapidly. Gen Z doesn't even know what the video's about. They don't care. They will you click trending and it'll show you all the top trending videos. And then you just say, okay, Batman's trending. And then they go in and they say, write a script about Batman. What can we do? Batman's most difficult villain. And then it will just AI generate a script. It'll be a 20, 30 minute long video, maybe 10, whatever you want it to be. It'll make all the visuals and then it renders it for you. Takes you 10, 15 minutes of doing work. The estimates that we've seen reported are that some of these people who are making close to $1 million will work for about 2 hours a day. And they don't actually know any of this stuff. They don't care. What's really interesting is that the Claudebot website was hiring humans. So what was happening was someone would make an AI agent and then say, I want this task done. The AI agent would then say, this task is best suited for a human, and then start making requests of humans to do the job. Yeah. Crazy. And then now there's a website where humans can apply for jobs given to them by AI. Yep. And they just put their hourly rate. They say what they can do. And then the AI is like, I need a human to do this. Now, I predicted this. Remember when I said the future's going to be, you're going to have an app and it's going to be called like Job Hunt or something. And it's going to be like, you're going to say, accept the job. And it's going to say, find this man and accept this object. And I'm going to be like, okay, it's a picture of Brett. I walk down the street. Sure enough, there's Brett. And he's holding this. And he walks up to me and he goes, I hand this to you. Okay, we're good. Brett hands it to me because his job was find me, give it to me. Then I take it and I go, great. Then my app says, now bring this object to this man. We have no idea why we're doing it, what we're doing, but the AI knows it's building a machine. We just haven't, I don't care. I get $50. Yeah. That's where we're going. That's going to be the future of jobs.
We get to do GTA missions in the future?
Essentially, yeah.
Oh yeah. You're lucky if it's a GTA mission.
You get your $50 and then you go to the weed store.
You'll literally get a job. It's going to say like, go walk to 3rd and Lexington and then wave your arms up and down and then leave. And you're going to be like, okay, I guess why? And then there's going to be someone else that's going to be like, when you see the man wave his arms, that's when you press the button.
It's like we're all in a spy movie. We don't even know it.
Spy movie.
The worst part. It would be cool if you actually knew you were in the spy movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's something hilariously tragic when I think about the hundreds of hours I've put into stuff that was not very well consumed, and then you just hear AI slop is crushing it. I don't know. There's something like funny in a very pathetic way to think about the amount of like hours going into stuff that no one looks at.
Well, the thing is, if it's on YouTube and people are getting paid, then people are watching it. You know? Like if you're making money, if you're making YouTube videos that people are watching, the ones that people aren't watching are the AI ones that are like stuff for sleep. So like science for sleep, which I've actually listened to a bunch of those. You just go and get some topic, about physics or about space or whatever, write up a big long, go to ChatGPT and have it write a big long script. Take that script, you plug it into Midjourney or whatever, and it makes the video for you. And then you take the video and you upload it. And some of them have thousands.
Maybe I'll create a Spotify channel, AI background nonsense to get me paid.
I will say I've seen some videos that are actually doing the opposite, where they'll be like human read stories for 4 hours, or like human read history of this, and this. And sometimes I'll listen to those for like sleep. They might be using AI to write the scripts.
Sleep videos for sleep are massive.
Yep.
It's free money.
Yep.
You AI generate a calm, soothing British voice that explains something interesting to you.
That's exactly how he reads it too.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's going to program your brain while you sleep, and you'll become a functional retard.
Or a polite British man.
Yeah. Everyone's
probably.
in the future, everyone's going to be David Attenborough.
You know what I'm going to do? You know what? I got an idea. I know how we can break this machine, and I'm going to need all of your help. We need to create like 5-hour-long videos where it's like, peaceful something to sleep to. It's like peaceful history lessons or math or something. But then at like an hour mark, the person just starts saying really graphic, disgusting things.
Oh my goodness. Just to like get in your head while you're sleeping.
And you're sleeping and he's like, the things I'm going to do to you. You're not even awake now, are you? And then people start having nightmares.
Yeah.
And then they stop. They're like, we need to stop. This is freaking me out. I'm waking up. I'm sweating. I don't even know why. What are you listening to? That's the key.
Scare people off.
Actually, hey, this is a really good idea. Not like that, but it's you make a 2-hour long, something to sleep to, and it starts really nice where it's like fairy tales to fall asleep to. But as it slowly goes on, things gradually just get darker and more like the story gets more horror and discordant.
Well, yeah, then they have a nightmare and it wakes them up and they have to put on another video. That's a gold mine.
Exactly.
It's a gold mine.
Pays for itself.
That's right.
I literally just watch Star Trek if I can't sleep.
What I've been told is that Lex Fridman, a lot of people say they fall asleep to his show, which massively boosts him in the algorithm because then they end up watching the full podcast. And for those industry people have said this. They said that it's a very calm and relaxing show to listen to, where they ask questions very lightly. And so people turn it on, just pass out. And as far as YouTube's concerned, that works.
Yeah.
It's funny, though. YouTube has been completely derelict in their duties because there are people buying ads on videos for sleep, and that's how they're making money. And that's fraud. That's a scam, in my opinion.
Why?
Because people are asleep. They're not getting an ad. So if I buy an ad on YouTube for pool water, and YouTube's putting it on videos that are designed for people sleeping, I'm spending money on nothing.
Yeah, that's not reasonable.
Yep, that's completely
Maybe they wake up in the morning and want to buy a pool.
Either way, if I run an ad, I expect someone will try to listen or close the ad. But if they're sleeping, you're stealing my money. And I think that that's interesting because I wonder how you solve for that. I got to be honest. There's millions of dollars being pumped into videos for people who are sleeping. Literally, there's a ton of videos for sleep, and people are making money on them, which means ads are playing. That means the advertisers are being ripped off by YouTube. And what's YouTube's excuse? Back in the day, back in like 2018 when the adpocalypse happened, YouTube was like, we didn't know our ads were running on graphic content. So they created the demonetization system. Well, now what happens if you're an advertiser and your ads are running on videos for people sleeping? Again, you're just burning your money.
Yeah,
that's messed
terrible.
up.
I can't believe you would even want to watch a video about, if you're trying to watch a video about sleeping and then you know that there's going to be an ad coming, why would you even click on that video?
Because you're asleep.
Yeah, but you're not going to, do you fall asleep that quickly?
The first 10, most of these people do.
Some of them
yeah, I mean, most people fall asleep within a few minutes.
Well, then why do
you
they
lay
need
down.
the sleep playlist?
It's white noise.
Okay.
It's soothing. You turn on a show and then you pass out. A lot of people grew up with the TV on in the background.
Yeah, but I'm guessing that the audio isn't equalized, right? Like the sleep playlist is going to be playing at a different frequency or at a different volume.
Bro, you're asleep. Most of these people are not differentiating between the ad or the show.
But I'm saying the last thing I want to do is if I'm like on the verge of falling asleep and then some ad just like pipes
that would be
in
really
super loud.
And I'm sure that happens, but it's so rare it doesn't matter because these channels work. They're making tons of money.
Who are these people falling asleep that quickly?
How long does it take you to
people.
fall asleep? How long?
Not too bad. Like I'm a bit over exaggerating, but I go to bed super late to begin with. Like I go to bed at like 2 or 3. So by the time I fall asleep, it's pretty quickly once I lay my head down. But if I had to go to bed earlier because I had to be up at a specific time, it's a little bit different.
It's actually really quickly. I'm pretty sure.
What
the average is 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're getting that ad. You got to be getting that first ad before 20 minutes or before 10
I think the
minutes.
fastest you can fall asleep is like 7 minutes. Like,
I can go to sleep whenever I want.
I
get on a plane. I sit down. Like I flick a switch.
I fall asleep on planes I fall asleep in any form of conveyance.
Yes. You put me in a car. This is why I don't like driving.
Right.
If I sit down in a car, as soon as the door closes, I'm asleep. I wake up when I'm there. It's like fast travel.
That's a superpower.
Yeah.
it's a superpower.
I get on a plane, doesn't matter. I will sleep until the plane, I'll just wake up when I'm landing. My brain's just like, all right, we're not needed for the next 3 hours. Turn it off.
You start doing live shows and going on tour. I mean, that's a superpower for having to hit the road.
Sleeping?
Yeah,
just
it is.
waking up in your gig, you're just there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Gig is over and you got to go to bed because you got an early call time. They'll tell you that's a superpower.
When I was younger, it used to be a little bit more difficult. Now, like nowadays, if we go on tour, we get off stage and I can be asleep by midnight without a problem, And then the bus doesn't usually leave until about 2, so then it's driving, 5 to 7 hours or whatever. So as long as the bus is moving, I'm usually still asleep.
Do you wake up when the bus starts?
No, but when the bus stops, I do.
Yeah, I would feel like the moving would be comfortable.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Like the bunks, they're it's your own little apartment or whatever, and you've got everything set up the way you want it to, want it to be or whatever. Climb in there and watch videos on your phone for 10 minutes or whatever, and it's like you're out, and then it's dark all the time. So
I'm a cartoonishly light sleeper. If I'm if I'm asleep at a hotel and there's a noise in the hallway, I hop out of bed like, who's trying to kill me?
Yeah, when you're on a bus, like if you can fall asleep on a bus, you're used to the motion and stuff like that. So usually, the stopping is what wakes people up. That's why you usually want your driver to get fuel in the morning, not get fuel at night.
Take that break.
So that way they don't stop, because you stop and people start sticking their head out at their curtains. They're like, "What's going on around here?"
I did a gig in Key West once, and they didn't tell me that there was a military base there and that they had military jets.
Oh,
and
that's nice.
I woke up in the morning. I thought I was listening to a missile, and I hopped out of bed and screamed, "We're being invaded!"
Oh, no.
It gets worse. I was looking for a weapon. I picked up the lamp, and then I remembered I'm not a soldier. What am I going to do?
What are you going to do with a lamp?
And
it
then
doesn't shoot anything.
Yeah, I walked out of my the Airbnb for the comedy club at 7 a.m. and locked myself out.
Oh.
And that might have been one of my single most pathetic moments on the road.
That's the worst. Getting locked out of anything when you're on the road.
Yeah.
Everything that you have is inside, and you're just like, and there's no one really you can call or whatever.
Go to the bathroom in the park like a homeless man.
We got to pull up this tweet right here from New York Prepper. U.S. presidential Doomsday plane rushing back to D.C. at 700 miles per hour from, how do you pronounce that? Dice Air Force Base. And according to this flight radar map, it is indeed going 695 miles an hour, which apparently is very, very fast.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean much of anything, though. Grok says that, it does routine flights like this, although that is pretty fast. I think the reason people are concerned is that this is the Doomsday plane, which is it's for in the event of nuclear disasters.
Where's Fort Dias?
I think they shouldn't have talked about
Texas.
the aliens.
Yeah, right.
Texas.
Yeah,
The speed of sound is 767 miles an hour. I don't know what plane it is. What is it? A 747. So
that's fast.
That's fast.
Well, Hegseth was in Nashville and Fort Campbell today, so I don't think it was him.
No.
Oh, look at this.
No,
it does appear to be going straight towards Nashville. What time was this?
It might have had to pick him up or something. But yeah, he was in Nashville, Tennessee to deliver remarks at the National Religious Broadcasters Freedom Celebration. And he was also in Nashville. And then he went to Fort Campbell. Oh, on Friday, he's going to Fort Campbell. So I'm not sure if they're heading back, because they've been doing so many of these Arsenal of Freedom trips. And of course, I'm sure that they're referencing the World War II Arsenal of Freedom and not Star Trek TNG Season 1, Episode 21, the Arsenal of Freedom. But yeah, they do all these trips, and they're it's a half hour. So for press, they tell you show up at Andrews at a certain time, and then you take off, and then you get back that night. It's kind of crazy. That was yesterday. I went to St. Louis, and I was excited about it because I'd never been to Missouri, so I got to check it off on my map.
Yeah. I've been to every state, so.
It'd be the greatest thing in the world if tomorrow I woke up and it was just my phone's got 8,000 notifications. And then I wake up and I look and I'm like, what's going on? And then I go in the living room and the news is on and my wife's standing there and it's just Trump talking to an alien. I'd just be like, I am not going to work today.
No, you're gonna...
Actually, no, I'd be like, I got to go live. And I'd just run over in my shorts.
You're actually more likely to wake up and find out that we're at war with Iran. Honestly.
Well, I'm actually really excited for that. Think about all the footage that is going to drive ratings and make the media rich. So, if it bleeds, it leads, baby.
Yeah, the Iraq, or not the second Iraq war and Afghanistan basically were, you have so many videos of that, and I imagine nowadays it would be that times 10.
Yeah, actually, we're our sales team is already calculating and factoring in this to our sales, And we have a tier pricing now for our sponsors. An ad read on this show will be a $5,000 in the event that no war happens. If the war does break out, it's going to go up $7,000. But if we get videos of dead civilians, $10,000. Because that's really going to drive the rating. So you got to pay a premium. So, everyone in cable TV news is sitting there just begging that Trump goes to war with Iran.
Yeah.
How much is the ad if the aliens are real and he's actually standing there with an ad and you're talking about it?
I feel like if they actually confirmed aliens were real, we'd have more substantial things to worry about than whether or not we're selling ads, and the nature of our reality would shift dramatically.
Or everything would go on exactly the
50% more.
Okay.
I think that if you can have evidence and whatnot, and that's one thing, but I think if there was actually communication with an alien species that could teach us how they have managed to travel from a different star system, whatever, that's the thing that I'm interested in is if there are aliens here, how did they get here, or if they're from another star system, right?
They're gonna land in DC and they're gonna be like, take us to your leader, and
they're gonna go to Trump,
and then Trump's gonna come out and he's gonna be like, listen, I'm here to meet you, and they're gonna be like, who is this? We said your leader, and they're going to hold a picture of Joe Rogan.
Or Trump wasn't.
We have been watching your media. We know who it is that you follow. And Trump's going to be like, wait a minute.
Joe Rogan's going to come out in a T-shirt smoking a joint, right?
He's going to be like, he's going to be like, take us to your leader, and then Trump's going to walk out. No, he's going to come out of the UFO smoking the joint with him, and he's going to be like, they picked me up, asked me for advice. I said, maybe we should go talk to Trump. They're going to be like, well, we've been monitoring your communications. He seemed like the most reasonable guy to talk to for now.
I gave them DMT.
I was just going to say.
The aliens are all tripping.
We already came back from our ayahuasca trip.
Yeah.
The UFO crashes into the rose garden, and then they get out and they're all just on drugs.
And Trump's like, who cracked my rose garden? Who cracked the cement? You're going to pay.
Yeah, I imagine.
Sues them.
I can imagine them all just staggering around, just their big black eyes actually they have tiny little white pupils that you can't see, and they're huge.
Was the plot of E.T. that immigration services were trying to capture him? Was that what E.T. was?
I don't think it was.
It should have been.
It should have been.
Somebody was trying to get him.
If they remade it today, it would be.
Can someone use Sea Dance 2.0 to make that ice detaining E.T.?
Send them back. Send him back.
No, it's just I want to see a video of an ice guy pinning E.T. on the ground and cuffing him, being like, "Stop resisting."
He wanted to go.
They lure
home,
him with
man.
Reese's
the whole movie was about he wanted to get out of
here.
here.
Yeah, he was trying
He
to
almost hits him with the
self-deport.
bike and they shoot him.
E.T. is in a car and then they try to pull him over and then he speeds off and hits a lady.
The modern ET is his phone. The app doesn't work on his phone. So the self-deport app, he wants his $2,600. So he goes to Washington and is banging on the White House I want my $2,600 and I'll get out of here.
Man, we got so many alien parodies we can do.
Yeah.
Mars Attacks.
A lot of them.
We come in peace. We come in peace.
Spaceballs.
They're smoking.
fun movie.
It was
Oh, yeah.
one of the best movies.
Smoking people.
It was great. They're just zapping everybody. We
That
come
movie
in
was
peace.
great.
It was great.
Ensemble cast. Everybody dying.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I want to. If I'm in an alien movie, I definitely want to be one of the people that gets taken out by the aliens.
You don't want to have your head surgically grafted to a dog's body?
Well, I mean, if
your own ass.
Now that you mention it, no. But yeah, I mean, look, that's if you're going to be in an alien movie, it's got to be take me out in a fun way, right? No?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to be in one of the serious alien movies like Gattaca or something?
No,
I'd rather be evaporated immediately.
What did you say?
One of the sort of serious
Which movie did you reference?
space movies. I meant to say space movies, not like Gattaca.
Gattaca's not a space movie.
No, it's sort of a space movie. It's like a future sci-fi-ish movie.
Yeah, but it's not aliens.
No, I misspoke.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Gattaca is where, was it Ethan Hawke?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think I saw
He's
it.
like, I can't fly because I'm not a genetically engineered human.
Yeah, so he steals the identity of
Yeah.
some guy who got paralyzed who is genetically engineered. And then he ends up on the space mission anyway, but he has to kill people.
Oh. You know what I liked? I liked Minority Report.
That was a good movie.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
See, if Independence Day was real, then the president wouldn't know about the aliens anyways, because he didn't know about the aliens in that movie.
And he didn't know about it in Men in Black.
Yeah,
Like
it's
they get away with it
compartmentalized.
for like what 4 movies or something.
Kept him out of it.
That was a great scene, sir. It's called plausible deniability.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that from when I was in like 8th grade and that came out.
How come they can't make good movies anymore?
Because there are too many women writers in Washington or in Hollywood. Sorry, Libby.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't think-
probably
I don't-
true.
I don't think that's the reason.
The guys are like, the guy should have to crawl through broken glass to save the puppy. And the women are like, oh, but that would hurt. Let's just have him hug the puppy.
We've got Street Fighter coming out this year. There is hope.
Oh,
Yeah?
I don't know, man.
Who plays Guile in it?
Is that the one that Cody Rhodes plays?
I don't know. Just the guy with the blonde hair, the military guy.
Yeah. What was the last good movie?
The last good movie.
I went and saw Shelter the other week. It was good. It's a Jason Statham movie. Every Jason Statham
Does he
movie.
go around just beating people
Yes.
up? Oh,
He
what?
kills a bunch of bad guys.
No.
I was
have
upset.
to
Like
see it.
at
It's in
first, I
theaters?
thought the whole point was that it's in theaters. At the first, I thought the movie was about like him like fighting the weather because it was called Shelter and it was like all in inclement weather. I'm like, oh yes, he's gonna
He's just
crap
shooting
out of
nuclear
Mother
missiles
Nature.
at hurricanes.
No, it's a every Jason Statham movie you've ever seen. It's awesome.
I am going to make, when Sea Dance 3 comes out, the most insane Jason Statham movies. I'm like, give me any reason to justify him going around beating people up. It's going to happen.
He's making a movie right now called Jason Statham Stole My Bike,
What? That sounds
where
awesome.
he plays himself.
I want to see a movie where like he orders a pizza, but it comes and the cheese is slightly shifted to the side because the delivery driver put it on the back seat, and when he turned, the cheese shifted. So then he puts it down and opens it, and he's like, what is this? So then he goes and just wipes out the entire pizza chain franchise.
All of
It's
them.
like goes just one by one, and then he makes his way to corporate, and then but it's got to be justified. Like when he goes back, he's nice.
Doing my cheese pizza.
But he's honorable. He's an honorable guy. And he's like, I just want my cheese pizza. You ruined it.
That's
You
how
make
they
me a new one. And then the guy's like a snooty guy, like, I'm not giving you a pizza. You get what you get. So he's like, and then he fights him. Then the manager comes out and he's like, you don't get a pizza from us. And then he's got to fight his way all the way to corporate. And then after he beats up the CEO, he gets his $7 back.
Yeah.
What if it ends up
All
being
that for
pro-capitalist propaganda and the CEO is actually really nice to him and he's the one who gives him the money back and he spares the CEO?
I'm comfortable with pro-capitalist propaganda, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a communist pizza restaurant.
But no. It's
mutual
a
aid. It's a
capitalist
mutual
pizza
aid
restaurant
kitchen.
full of a bunch of jerks. But the one guy who finally gives him his money back is the CEO because he understands business.
All the employees were communists.
Yeah, all of them. They're not making enough money.
You know, actually, what would be good is Jason Statham is a pizza delivery driver, but then communists take over, and then he goes and he just beats all of them up.
He just kills them all with like the pizza cutter.
Well, he doesn't always kill. You know, he punches them and they fall down and don't get back up.
Yeah, but that's one of the most annoying tropes in Hollywood now is the innocuous. Maybe it's death, maybe it's
Right.
not, and it's ruining everything in filmmaking. It should be absolutely for sure. Whether
Okay, well, if it's AI, then I'm going to have him go around with like a 12-inch buck knife. And he just, you know they're gone. Yeah. Every single one of them. And he makes his way all the way up to the government. He kills every single communist revolutionary. And then the president like of the United States is like, you've saved us from communism. And he goes, I did what?
unintended consequences.
But why did you just kill all those people? Why not? Yes, Jason Statham
He
movies.
deserved it.
Because. All right, we got to go to your Rumble rants and Super Chats, my friends. Smash that like button. Share the show with everyone in your life. Maybe that special somebody, your neighbor. Tell them to watch the show. And let's just see what y'all have to say about that. NNY says, Rumble Wallet, can I tip Phil directly every time he chastises Ian? I want to encourage this behavior. Also, if you can build Crisis Party and Chicken Party, can we have seat shockers?
I just want to understand what Ian's thinking. So, like, I'm usually just asking questions like,
okay,
where did you get that idea? You know?
Okay, now this is a really good idea. We should do a comedy podcast where each seat has a punching glove on a retractable arm, and there will be 4 meters, and when any one of them hits $100, it will punch the person. But in all, like not a serious punch.
In the nuts or in the head?
In the face.
Okay.
You'll get like, you know, it'll be enough to make you laugh, not actually hurt you, but it'll be funny because then people will be like, Ian's on the show, we'll make millions of dollars. He's going to be hitting.
You'd have to offer him like 10% or something like that. So that he'd be like, all right, man, cool.
Yeah. Perfect.
Cover the CTE.
That is a good idea. And as for tipping Phil directly, if Phil has a Rumble account,
I do.
then yes.
I do. Yeah, you can send me Bitcoin and.
I was going to say what we could do is we could add the QR to the lower thirds.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So it'll like pop up with a name with the QR code. So if you have the Rumble wallet, you can just scan it while watching the show and tip the person if you like them. I think that's a cool idea. Yeah. Look at us revolutionizing the internet.
Rumble wallet.
People said QR codes were dead. Nah.
All right. Let's see. AMC Conahay says, first, super chat to Timcast. I love this channel and thank you for all you do. I'd like to give a shout out to for my newish Catholic channel, Samco Vagabond. God bless the Timcast crew. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Zuzu's Pedals. They need to be this angry for all the young girls gang raped and trafficked by rape gangs and even sold by care home employees to their rapists. Yeah, you know what's funny is the Epstein stuff is crazy and we want the answers, but there's rape gangs in the UK.
Yeah.
Like it's happening and we know it's happening.
And it's happened in multiple places. And now they're like deleting the files. You know, Keir Starmer's deleting files.
Because if they actually look into it, it's racist.
Because it's racist to say that it's wrong to rape white girls.
All right, we got That Place That I Am says, why didn't the U.S. government release this information pertinent to Andrew to the U.K. government before the release of the Epstein files? I bet they did.
Yeah, probably.
And the U.K. didn't do anything because they protect the elites. And with the release of the files, they said, uh-oh, we're in trouble. We better arrest them now. I think there's worse stuff. Worse.
Or the files came out and the UK was like, shit, that's not in the redacted part.
Yep. Phalanx says, so is Obama going to get arrested for leaking classified information?
No.
Trump got raided for having allegedly classified information in a locked room that is guarded by the U.S. Secret Service.
I'm going to take a leak. I'll be right back.
Yep.
No, he's not going to get arrested at all. Of course not. That's ridiculous.
Schnozberry says, this $10 Rumble rant, you'll be seeing more of this if you run for office, Tim. Wink, wink. The only thing that actually makes me consider wanting to run is that I'd love to answer these questions. Like, make the media ask me questions that I just want to answer.
Like which one specifically?
Literally anyone.
Like any of them at all?
I will never get AOC'd. It's impossible for that to happen. First of all, I have no problem saying, I don't have a good answer for you.
Yeah.
It's that simple. And all of the basic questions I love to talk about. AOC has no idea what's going on, but see, here's the thing. If I was lacking of intellect like her, but with the same degree of charisma that she and I both have to certain degrees, I'd also run for office. AOC has got charisma, she does, but she's not very smart, but she is able to talk to people. So politics is the natural place for her to be, where she doesn't have to actually prove anything. She can always blame everybody else.
She was also probably a good bartender.
Indeed. Now, for me, I am good at talking and have a degree of charisma, so I will actually just use my abilities to run a business and be successful, and that's why I'm not in politics.
Is there like a rule, like a hard and fast rule with politicians where like their advisors say, don't ever say, I don't have a good answer for you? Are they like advised against that?
Well,
I think it depends on
with
the advisor.
AOC, the presumption is she was given an answer for these questions, and she was struggling to remember. So they told her, on the issue of Taiwan, you will say it's a longstanding U.S. policy that we do defend Taiwan. However, we want to avoid at all costs any circumstance where this would actually happen. And she was trying to remember. So she's going, that's
bad.
Because she's like, where is it? Where is it in my brain? Man, she literally could have just said, you know what? Let's put a pin in that real quick. And I want to mention something. She could, there's so many just simple, quick-witted segues you could do.
Yeah.
She could literally just be like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times like on the show where I'm like making a point and then just like I'm halfway through and then something just clicks and goes away and I'm like, crap. And then I have to work my way back to it.
Oh, that's easy. If you're ever making a point and then you lose your train of thought, but you want to sound like it's not, get frustrated and change the subject, acting as though something just bothered you. But if you really don't have anything top of mind to snap to, so let's say you're thinking of saying something, you're in the middle of your train of thought, like my final point is going to be that, Trump is a great business person. You weave a little bit to give an example, then you forget where you're going. If you're quick-witted, you can just do something like, no, I shouldn't even say this. What I should say is, like, I forgot my train of thought. So I'll just, you know what? I'm not going to go there. But if you're not quick-witted, you can always just go, right in the middle of your, Phil, what are you doing? And then it's like, I didn't lose my train of thought. What were you doing? Oh, I'm sorry. Phil was doing something. I got distracted by Phil.
Blame the other guys.
Yeah, that's always effective to blame.
There,
Also known as the shit rolls downhill rule.
Or, and this literally happened in here, last summer, there was a frog running around.
Really, just a real frog?
A real frog. And what happened was, I
like how you say it was running.
Was it Tate, maybe? Or Kellen? Somebody had a frog in their backpack.
What? But why? Did it sneak in?
When was this? It might have been Dane,
You know what?
actually.
There are frogs outside.
Yeah.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
There's thousands of them.
Especially when it
thousands.
rains.
And they're all screaming.
Yeah.
The worst was like we'd be in the middle. We were in the middle of the show, and there's bats in the other studio. There was bats in the
What?
Because there's the chimney there.
There's bats.
Well, not right now. They're all dead. But
Oh,
the point
oh my
is,
God.
like I'm in the middle of the show trying to deliver a point, and you just hear like a bat in the background, and I'm like, and I'm just looking at the camera like,
You're like, are we on the
What do
inverted
bats
world?
sound like?
You
What do
know?
they sound like mouses, but
horrible.
They sound like, whoa.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
They sound Transylvanian.
Yeah, they sound Eastern European.
I can't think of bats without thinking of those like 3-foot tall Australian bats.
Yeah.
And then I just get creeped
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Those are creepy.
Those things,
All
fox
right,
bats, are they?
Let's grab a couple more. We got it. I'm Not Your Buddy guy says, anyone see that Ducey question on aliens to Trump? Here's a fun hypothetical. What if they exist? However, it's more of a spore-like alien that takes over the host, and that's where all these woke come from. Well,
That's a very optimistic
in
view
the
of world.
children's book series Animorphs, there are little worms called yerks. I think yerks. I remember when I was like 5th grade and those books came out. We were like, whoa.
I never read them, but I watched like a 45-minute documentary on them. About how apparently they were very traumatizing to a lot of kids. Yeah.
Oh, no joke. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I couldn't believe they were giving these to us as kids. Like, one of the alien races had like a blade scythe tail that would slice people's heads off and stuff.
Oh, Nice. terrible.
And I'm like, why are children reading this?
Yeah,
Well, children read all kinds of things. I mean, Grimm's fairy tales are brutal. Mm-hmm. Very brutal.
Raymond G. Stanley Jr. says, Brett and Co., we are once again headed towards World War III for the 7th plus time in the last couple of years. How do you feel about it? Guys, it's going to be so relaxing when the machine breaks down and I can just go be a chicken farmer.
I think about stuff like that a lot.
Farming chickens?
No, I think about
Well, yes, but
opening I think about opening like a little Italian restaurant,
Oh, okay.
you know?
I always assumed that it would be a bed and breakfast in upstate New York.
No, I don't need people staying over. My God, that sounds awful. You have to deal with these people in the morning? No, like you eat your spaghetti, you go home.
There you go.
But it would have a killer wine selection.
I was going to say
We,
evening and a couple drinks, right?
we have an idea for Cast
A
Brew.
little good bar.
You guys are going to love this. One of our ideas for a Cast Brew coffee shop is that we're going to have a little miniature craps table and roulette wheel. And the promo is it's free. It's not really gambling. It's just depending on how we do the promo, it's like you order a coffee. You can then make a wager. So let's say you're like, okay, we'll do roulette, and I'll put I'll put my coffee on black, and if it comes up, the coffee's free.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so it's like not all the time, but we'll give out coupons where it's like, you might win a free
Post
coffee.
on Instagram like that. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
I'm
And then you're like, you roll a 7, you get a free coffee.
When is it checkoutable?
We're thinking it's probably going to be up just by the end of March.
Nice.
So what we're going to do is so it's almost done. Then we're going to do the final check, run through of everything. And then we're going to set a date. But we want to do a members only VIP pre-opening.
Okay.
So timcast.com Discord members.
Can I come?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll be one of the attractions.
Oh, how fun. How
Yeah,
fun
we
for-
want to convince people to come. We're going to say, you can meet Libby.
Okay.
And so a couple weeks, it should be totally done.
Mm-hmm.
Very excited. All the machines there, the fridges are there. There's going to be ready-to-eat food. I don't think there's going to be hot food. So it's going to be like ready-made sandwiches and things like that. It's like how Starbucks has it.
Yeah.
And then coffees and all that stuff. Second floor is a collectibles shop. Third floor is trading card gaming collectibles. So that's where we're considering, that's where we are. If we do the show, which we believe we will, that's where the gaming show will be with Ian.
Mm-hmm.
The concern everyone has is Will Ian be reliable enough to host a once-a-week show?
That's a great question. Can we get that up on call sheet?
Make our own internal prediction market.
Right?
Yep. Let's grab a couple more of these.
I'm putting $1,000 on no.
Your fave says, Phil, you need to get Tim to change the cold brew to anti-communist cold brew. What could be more American than coffee, capitalism, and hating communism?
Nothing.
I'm excited about a concentrate because that's the only type of coffee I drink is cold brew concentrate.
Yeah, it's lightly sweetened because it's just how we ended up making it, and it's light. So there are these little bottles. It's 2 ounces. You put it in a glass with I think 8 or 10 ounces of water, and you got a glass of coffee.
Yeah,
you got a cup of coffee.
That's clever to just have the small things, and you'll be able to buy those at the coffee shop.
When yes, and you can order them now at GetSweet.com. Because we were trying to do cans of cold brew because we love it, and then when we looked at it, it was like $5 per can.
Right, because of the
shipping costs.
Super expensive at stores.
We would have to map. So the way Starbucks and all these other companies do it is they make millions of cans. So if we're talking about making, here's the challenge: are we going to sell 5,000 cans? Probably not in a short amount of time. The coffee will go bad. So we can't have just coffee wasting away on a shelf. So what if we did 1,000 cans? We could probably sell that before they expire. Okay, that's not a very large order, which means it's going to be very expensive every time you do it. And the first order goes through. We don't know what our sales are going to be, so we can't just say, we're going to sell these in 4 weeks, so 2 weeks in, we need to have the next order. You know, we've got to have a lead time on it. So the easiest way to do it was concentrates. So you can buy one bottle that's going to last you a lot longer. It's a little bit more. It's like a comparable price, one bottle, whereas you'd normally get a can or like a 6-pack or something. Whatever. The prices are comparable. We don't got to deal with the shipping weight.
It ends up being cheaper over the jug of concentrate ends up being pretty cheap if you're making it throughout the week.
Yeah. And it works out too because cold brew has much higher caffeine. Like seriously, like 3 or 4 times. So, all right, let's see what we got. We'll grab one more before we go to the uncensored portion. What does that say? SJC? Jason Statham enters corporate. We are sorry, Jason, but your pizza is in another castle. All right, everybody, smash that like button, share the show with every person you've ever met in your life. The uncensored portion of the show is about to start over at rumble.com/Timcast IRL. You can follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. Robbie, do you want to shout anything out?
Yeah, I actually, if you guys live in this area, Perryville, Maryland at 5th Company Brewery, I'm opening up for Sam Tripoli Friday night and then Dave Smith Saturday night. Dave Smith sold out, but a couple tickets left for Sam Tripoli and Eddie Bravo, which is going to be a great show.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, if you want to come out, 5th Company Brewing.
Can't do it, but what's Dave? He's got to come hang out.
Come Saturday night, but that's
is it?
Dave Smith's there Saturday night.
In Perryville?
It's probably about an hour and a half from here.
Oof.
It's a fun brewery. I've done quite a few shows
doing
there.
Friday and Saturday?
I'm personally doing Friday, Saturday. Dave's just there Saturday night. I'm doing Friday night with Sam Tripoli. I don't know if you know him. He's great.
Of course. He's doing the show. Yeah. Oh, man. It might be rough. I might try.
Yeah, come out either night. I'm there both nights, and it's good lineups.
Where are y'all based out of?
I live in Stamford, Connecticut, and then Dave lives in Jersey.
Oh, okay. So he's not that far away.
No.
Well, because we want to come on after we did the like micro beef. I was like, just come on the show, bro.
Let's start more beef. It's good
because
for ratings.
It wasn't a real beef. You know what I mean? But like people wanted it to be. Like people here were like, "Did you see what Dave said about you? He called you cringe." And then I was like, "Oh, I don't know. Probably."
I gotta be honest. I'm a sucker for some as a podcast viewer. I'm a sucker for when people have drama going. So it's good. It's good for the market.
It's fun.
Yeah. I don't think I said this on Piers, but I was like, I'd vote for him. You know what I mean? If he's gonna run, he's my guy. Anyway, Libby.
That's me. Anyway, Libby, I'm over here. I want to encourage you guys, go listen to the Pod Millennial. Our guest this week was Sopranos star Drea De Matteo, and it was great. We had a really fascinating conversation. It got a little wild. We've also had other amazing guests like rock star Phil Labonte, Jack Posobiec, Michael Knowles, and we have Tim Pool coming up. So please check it out, thepodmillennial.com.
Guys, if you could, go follow me. I'm on Instagram and X at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms, but you should also go check out Pop Culture Crisis. We are on YouTube and Rumble. We are getting dangerously close to 400K on YouTube, and we just did our 1,000th episode. You can go back and check that one out. We are also live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is noon Pacific. We'll see you there, guys.
I am Phil That Remains on Twix. The band is All That Remains. You can check the band out at allthatRemainsonline.com. We're going on tour this spring. We're going out with Born of Osiris and with Dead Eyes. The tour starts April 29th in Albany, and we'll be going through the end of May. You can get tickets also at allthatRemainsonline.com. VIP packages are selling out, so you should probably get them soon. You can check out the music at Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, Spotify, YouTube, and Deezer. Don't forget, the left lane is for crime. Carter.
What's up, everyone? Thank you for watching. Thanks for coming, man. Got a really big show tomorrow, and you're not going to want to miss it. So you can follow me at Carter Banks everywhere and follow our label at Trash House Records on YouTube.
We do have indeed a very big show tomorrow with a very, very excellent guest. We're very excited for this. It's going to be a crazy conversation, so you don't want to miss it. We're going to leave you hanging on who it might be. But for everybody who wants to come hang out, go to rumble.com/TimcastIRL, and we'll see you there in about 30 seconds.